Okay, so what we are going to do, first five people, just raise your hand. I'll go through their capacity sheet. If any doubt, anything while preparing the capacity sheet, we will kind of first review this and then we'll go through all the interview questions. Making sense? One by one, only five people I can review, all the people I can't review. But any question, if anyone have, you can ask while someone is sharing the screen. Making sense? Yeah, Sumir has raised his hand first. Sumir, can you share your screen?
Just a minute.
In a minute, Sumir, if it is taking time, Rinkesh, can you share your screen?
Yeah, Rizwan. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it is
Yeah,
visible.
It's
yeah,
visible?
yeah, yeah, correct.
Okay, so as a Scrum Master, I prepared this s- uh, just as a Scrum Master, I prepared this capacity sheet. I will share it with you guys. So the sprint, my sprint started is going to start from the 30th of April. That is the coming Wednesday, and it will end on 13th of May. It's a 2 week sprint, so 10 working days will be there in this sprint. It's a sprint six, and the default working hours which we have taken is 8 hours. Right now, no, the leaves and the other ad hoc and emergency leaves and the daily calls and everything is not added in this. Just the default 8 hours I have taken it over here. So there are 10 members in my team. Mihir is my PO, myself as a Scrum Master. Anand is my BA, and the rest of the team is there where we have a dev lead, two developers, one senior developer, one test lead, one tester, and one senior tester. Now, the thing is, as PO, SM, and BA, we do not participate in this activity as a developers. So, as an implementer, so obviously the allocation part is zero for all three of us, PO, SM, and BA. Now, my dev lead, Ketan, he is leading two teams. So, I have taken his 50% over here. His capacity is at 50%, which will reduce to the working hours of, which will divide 8 hours into two
Uh,
parts, is 4 hours.
Got it. Aditya, not performing up to the mark, 70%, serving notice period, 80%, and Diksha, 0%. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but only thing, whenever you are doing that, you should have a discussion with the dev lead and a QA lead, and then you should come into the conclusion. Correct, no, Rinkesh?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Go to the next one, ceremony
Yeah.
time.
So the ceremony time is of this is the dates where we are going to have our sprint. Now the daily scrum call is of 15 minutes per day. The grooming session in this whole sprint there are three grooming
Hmm.
session planned of 90 minutes. So one is on first of May, another is on 7th of May, and another is on the 13th of
Hmm.
May.
Hmm.
Now we have sprint planning day one that I've given it as a 120 minutes, and the sprint review demo is of 90
Got
minutes
it,
on.
got it, got
Yeah.
it. You can move to the
Okay.
next
Yeah,
11.5
which
hour.
11.5
I'm
hours.
able to see. Yeah,
Yeah.
next.
Okay. Now this is the main calculation over here. So as I said, Ketan is occupied 50%. So he's going to give it it has 4 hours daily, which will cover it as a 40 hours. And this is the ceremony time. 40 minus 11.5 is going to
Ketan,
be 20.
Ketan and Datta have a leave, correct?
Aditya is on. Yes.
Aditya and Datta has a leave, correct?
Yes. 2 days leave.
Where is your leave tracker?
This
Can
is
you
my
show
leave
me?
tracker. Yeah. So Aditya is on leave on 1st of May, and
Uh,
Datta is on leave on 1st and 2nd of May.
First of May, you don't have a mandatory
No, I
holidays.
don't have mandatory leaves.
Okay, go to the calculation part.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have counted and the sum is coming around this.
Yes.
And then ceremony time, you have accordingly reduced it. This is available capacity. And you
Yes.
counted, this team is a new team or an old team?
This is the old team.
Okay, so that's why you have taken focus factor as 80%. So your
80%. Yes.
capacity is coming around
Man hours.
250.08 man hours.
Yes.
Very good. Can you clap for Rinkesh, guys? Every single thing I think you have done rightly. Any question, Rinkesh?
There is one thing I was confused while doing this
Hmm.
activity is this ceremony time.
Hmm.
So what I was thinking about is, I mean, is there a limit, or you can say a higher limit of coming? I mean,
See,
of this total for the.
based on the empiricism. For example,
Mhm.
you see that your daily stand up every day goes for a 30 minutes.
But,
That means the future is whenever you calculate the capacity, you calculate the capacity before starting the sprint.
right.
So you will be assuming that hey, in that also the stand up will go for a 30 minute. So
Hmm.
instead of 15 minutes, we'll give 30 minutes. For example,
Okay.
grooming is happening twice in a week.
Hmm.
So 2 times in a week, 2 weeks, so 4 times grooming will see. So based on the empiricism, because see,
Hmm.
these whatever you are counting that has not happened, that will happen in the future.
Hmm.
But you have to count those, correct? No?
Yes.
So plus minus here and there is okay. We are just kind of coming up with a rough figure, correct? No?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. And if you have any other event, for example, apart from this, if there is any other sync call or any other where
Hmm.
all the
Hmm.
teams are getting involved, you can always count in a ceremony time and that will go up as well. For
Okay.
example, one sprint you have a Jira training schedule, or for
Hmm.
example, in one sprint for a full team, there is kind of 4 hour outing is scheduled, or a team lunch is
Friday fun
there,
activities there.
fun
Yeah.
activities is there.
Hmm.
So that if you don't count, what will happen? Your capacity will go up,
Will
and
go
then
up.
the team will
Yes.
end up committing more work. So you need to be proactive enough to count all those things.
Okay.
Uh,
Understood.
just one more question regarding this. Even I have some doubt. So, do we need to include? Can we include like product backlog refinement and estimation?
100% backlog refinement is ongoing. Grooming is a backlog refinement, no?
Uh,
Grooming is what? Backlog refinement, no?
and this
So,
planning poker estimation also can be added over
so
here.
grooming may you do the planning poker estimation. No, if you have a separate call, then you
Mm.
have to add it. No, those are not what do you mean by non-productive hours? Non-productive hours are hours where the developers and testers are not contributing in actual development and testing. So whatever the call, irrespective, whatever the call where they are not contributing directly in development and testing, every call should be included.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
Rinkesh, your doubt got clear now?
Yes, got you.
Very good. You understood it rightly. You can stop sharing your screen.
Yeah. Very well.
Next.
Rizwan,
Huh.
I had one question.
Huh.
So, what in case if there is an 2 day workshop or some workshop
Hmm.
with, in middle of the sprints? Should we replan our capacity or
No, no. 2 days workshop or something, it comes in advance. It's not like one day prior it happens. Every company
Mhm.
understands that the team is running on their own capacity. So it will come in advance. So you have to plan in advance. You should know what's going on at least you should have, as a Scrum Master, you should have your leave calendar. You should have your holiday calendar. You should know like, hey, what is coming next. So you should be planning. It's not like, hey, today they are coming and telling that, hey, tomorrow 2 days team will not do anything. We'll have a workshop. If those
Okay.
kind of situation coming, you can raise the risk that if these situations are coming, then our deliveries might get impacted. No
Impact?
one wants to, kind of, wants a delivery to be impacted. No one wants. So you will know in advance. But if you don't know in advance and those kind of situation is coming, then you have to first raise the risk and see whether now in the remaining time team will be able to achieve the sprint goal or something. If you see the risk, go to the resource manager, delivery manager, leadership team, and ask for additional resource or something kind of. But 99% of the time, those will you will know in advance that hey,
Okay.
these things are coming. Are you getting my point?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Next, who is next? Sumir, you have to share your screen. No, you are very slow, Sumir. I don't know why. Interview, if you will be like this, then interviewer will get frustrated. I am telling you. थोड़ा सा fast.
No, I was waiting like if someone else is sharing.
No, no,
So
you are in the first queue. No, you are in the first queue. No, yeah.
this is on a high level. I like my sprint is for 2 week sprint.
Hmm.
That is from 13th to 30th April to 13th of May. Then
Hmm.
I calculated how many days public holiday and weekends are there.
Hmm.
This is on a higher level. I did like I this will be the break. This will be the meeting calls. Total productive hours. This
Hmm.
is my team.
Hmm.
For the front end developers, I have
Hmm.
two backend developer, one QA lead, one dev lead,
Hmm.
and two QA. So
Hmm.
based on that, I calculated.
So
But
in this calculation, you don't have any planned leave?
no, so this is on a higher level I did than this is the actual calculation. This is the ceremony I did day wise.
Oh,
So my
day two is a holiday.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, 15, 15. Okay, got it.
Sumit,
129.
can you please close this document recovery section? Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
Okay, so yours is coming around 11.25 as a uh,
Non-productive hours.
total non-productive hour. Okay. Go to the actual calculation.
So as Sumir and Pratik are lead, I have given 80% allocation to them because they have to do some other task
Hmm.
also related to the lead,
Hmm.
resolving issues and all the other things. Shruti is 50% allocated. She's a
Hmm.
front-end developer.
Hmm.
Supresh and Suchita are 100%, and like Supriya is 100%. She's a QA, and Amol is 50%. So like this is how I did. Uh,
Okay, very good. You know Excel. You know how to kind of decorate things. You are very good in decoration, huh? Okay, come come in the right hand side, Sumir. Okay, so total is coming around this much, and ceremony time we have calculated 11.25. So available capacity is coming 295. 80% focus factor 236 man hours. Correct?
yes,
And here you have counted plan leaves.
yes.
Where
So
is the
wherever,
plan?
yeah, wherever you see this red color mark, it is a plant leaves. Uh,
Oh, okay. No, no, red color. Okay. Can you go to your leave tracker? Sumir is on leave on 30th of April and 2nd of May. So all the leaves you have a 2nd of May or a 30th of April, correct?
yes,
Go to the
yes,
actual calculation. So you have adjusted on 30th of April and 2nd of May.
yes.
Clear? Okay, great. Good. Any questions, Sumir?
No.
Very good. Can you clap?
Rizwan,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
I have one
please.
question.
Yes.
So, for example, one person is on leave wherein there will be ceremonies like backlog assignment or sprint planning. So, while calculating the capacity for that specific person, would we still minus all those hours? But
That is okay.
he's
See,
not.
you don't have to go exact hours. Plus minus 1 or 5% is okay. If you want to if you want to go to that minute detail that hey, you want to, for example, that person itself is not there now. So
Yeah.
if you want to kind of minus that hour and all this, you can go that minute. But even if you don't do plus minus 5% is okay. You are not exactly going in exact calculation. Plus minus 5%, plus minus 2 or plus minus 3% is completely fine. You got your
Yeah.
answer?
Yeah. So, if the total ceremony's time is like 11 hours, so we would minus that only, irrespective of their leaves.
Or if you want to adjust, you can adjust. If you're that much kind of proactive, if you want to adjust based on their leave and ceremony time, accordingly you want to adjust, please adjust it. It's your call. I will
Okay.
not go. If I will be the Scrum Master, I don't have a time. I don't have that much capability to adjust every single thing. I know because see, we are working in Agile, lot of complexity, lot of unknowns, lot of risk, lot of uncertainties will come. I'll just go on a rough estimate. I'll
Okay.
not to go exact numbers. We are not here learning a numbers. We are learning how to kind of come up with something where we kind of utilize the team capacity. Correct? No? So
Yeah.
plus minus 5%, everyone see 20% focus factor we are giving.
Yeah.
Then by this logic, you should not give no, actually everything is perfect and all this. So plus minus 5% is okay. But if you want to go,
Okay.
you can adjust also.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Yeah. Next, three more people. The people who have a
Then,
doubt, can those people share the screen? The people who have a doubt or those they are not able to kind of make the capacity sheet. Anyone?
Rizwan,
Can
I'll
I?
go next. I have few doubts.
Yeah, please. Hanspal, if you also have a doubt, you can share. If not, then it's okay. Yeah, Mirali, please.
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as for my Scrum team, there are 11 people,
Hmm.
and where excluding three, there are 8 people, including 5 as developers, dev lead, and then test lead and 2 testers. As for dev lead, he's handling some other leading efforts across organization, so he's giving his 80%. Developer is she's not up to the mark. Other senior developers 30%. She's new trainee, though she is working some basic stuff. Devant is just handling 2 testing teams, and Muskan again, she is not giving her 100%. Okay. Apart from this, as for ceremony times, grooming, we are doing it on every Tuesday, Thursdays for a 1 hour. So it's 60-60 and 120, 90 for retro and review and daily stand up, which makes 11.5 hours. As for this, we have planned leaves because we have a holiday on 1st May. Definitely, there is going to be 2nd May as a extended leaves for people, right? So we have total 4 PTOs included here in this red, wherever you can see. So which makes a total 260.48 hours, and I've taken by 8, as you have said, it is making 32 story points.
No,
Um,
that is wrong. I said that is wrong.
yeah,
Divided by
yeah,
8 is
you,
a wrong that I said.
hmm,
Correct? You
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
have to come up with 260 man hours. Clear, no?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Here it is fine, but you said, right, unofficially in your mind, you need to calculate like by 8.
No, no, no. I told if they're asking in the interview, but this is a wrong way.
Okay.
Correct,
Okay.
no?
Okay. I'll just remove it. Yeah, I'll just
Yes,
remove it.
yes. And you have to give
Yeah.
the unit. Yeah. What is your question now?
Yeah. And my question is,
Hmm.
let's see, if you see this hours are coming from these
Hmm.
totals, right?
Hmm.
So this includes all the leaves, whatever we have added
Correct,
here. But
correct.
if we'll see this allocation hours by
Uh,
sprint, this is a total of their capacity. But this doesn't include any leaves, planned leaves, right?
no,
So
no.
this is
Why,
my
why,
question.
why they have to go to the calculate section? Why they have to include calculate section? What we are, for example, Satya was having a 80%. So per day we are counting
Yes.
6.4 and leave you are counting there. No, there you
Yes.
are counting. No, so if you are counting, that will come. No, why you have to count twice? See, Satya, that means Satya on 428, go there in the calculator. For example, Satya allocation is 80%. That means
Yes.
428 Satya out of 8 hours is able to give only 6.4 hour of effort.
Yes.
So, and
Yes.
5-1 he is on leave, so we are not counting. Again, 5-9 he is on leave, we are not counting. So that means his capacity is 6.4, 6.4, 6.4 after counting a 51.2. So whatever
Yes.
the capacity that comes, that is kind of percentage allocation plus planned leave, all this, and then after this you are reducing the non-productive hours, ceremony time, and then it is coming as a available capacity, and then you are again counting a focus factor of 80% to count the final capacity. So here you are
Yeah.
already counting non-leaves. Where is the
Yeah,
problem?
that I understood.
Hmm.
Just my question was, here we just
This
need
is
to give
just for
the total
allocation.
number.
This is just
Okay.
for
Okay.
allocation.
That
Hours
was
per
the
sprint, for
question.
example, O column, if you remove also, that doesn't make any sense. O column you can
Yeah.
remove.
Okay.
That
Okay.
that is just for like, hey, if they are available for all days in a sprint, that much time they will be giving.
Okay. Okay.
But if they are
Because
not
this,
available for all days in a sprint, in a calculation part, we are reducing their man hours for that particular day.
okay, this is just for allocation. Here we are giving a
Ha,
total. Okay.
that is coming
Understood.
from the other
Understood.
sheet.
Understood. Yeah, that's what my question is.
Okay, you can stop sharing
Yeah.
your screen.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any confusion on capacity? Share your screen first. Anyone else?
Rizwan, I
Yeah,
just
Rizwan.
found out.
Oh, yeah, yeah, please, Rachna.
Hmm. So I'm taking just 8 hours for the
Hmm.
whole day. Then I'm deducting 2 hours for the meetings, and I'm taking 6 hours per day as the working hours for
That
each
was
and
just
every.
for example.
Okay.
In a real sheet, you are not doing this. Real sheet ceremony time is coming 11.5 hours for a whole sprint. That was just for the example.
Okay. 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 So I have to rework on this and then in this case.
Correct. That was first sheet. I told no, first sheet was for example because you have to explain the interviewer in a simple language.
Okay.
Then again, non-productive hour when I started calculating, some places it was coming 11.5, 11.25, different was coming. Correct? No?
Correct.
You
Correct.
got it?
Yeah, I'll work on it again.
Yes. Yeah. Any other doubt? Forum is open. Yeah. Kalpashri, you have raised your hand. Any questions? Any doubt? You want to share your screen?
No, not no doubt. just wanted to share. That's why I raised. Apart from that, I'm clear on that.
You want to share? You still want to share?
No, it's clear
Okay.
to me. Yeah.
Okay. Sajish, Rakesh, you guys have raised hand. Any doubt, any confusion in a capacity sheet?
No doubts, Rizwan.
No.
But just I wanted to share whether I have planned it in a proper way or
Chalo. Last,
so-
I'll take Rakesh based on his request and then we'll go to the class. I want Rakesh to be happy. Rakesh, come.
okay. Okay, is my screen up?
Yes, you share your screen.
Okay.
Oh, you prepare every single thing in a Google Sheet only.
Uh, usually my entire reporting work goes on spreadsheets itself.
Good,
So this
good.
is what I prepared it from the first sheet wherein we tried to allocate the resources, and this
Mm-hmm.
is what their man hours came up for every day. So over here I started, and this is a ceremony time. So my doubt was like, should we be removing the ceremony time based on their leaves, or is it like
You can, it's your call. Like the same
politically
Meenakshi
prohibited?
was also asking, and
Yeah.
if you see my the last class I told, either you can take the constant 11.5, whatever is your ceremony time coming, or
Mhm.
accordingly based on their leave, or sometime based on their allocation also. For example, if someone is only 50% allocated and that person is a part
Mhm.
of a two teams, that person might not be available 100% in all those non-productive hours.
Right.
So that is a subjective call, has to be taken by the Scrum Master based on his or her experience. So you are free to adjust that as well. I cleared in the last class as well. So even if you
Uh,
adjust and all do know, there will be hardly a difference of 10 to 15 hours here and there. That is completely fine. For example, you're adjusting also ceremony time, total capacity, it will impact hardly 15 to 20 hours here and there. That is
right.
okay. That can go to the buffer and all this. That is not going to create a problem because every single thing is based on the estimation only. And there are a lot of
Mm.
complexity, unknowns, risks, so estimation might go here and there. So it's completely fine. But to answer your question, yes, it can get adjusted 100%. You can do that.
The other doubt, I mean, like in our day-to-day work in my
Hmm.
operations,
Hmm.
we call it as a shrinkage,
Hmm.
shrinkage for the day or shrinkage for the week.
Hmm.
So does it uh, align the same within the sprint level?
Shrinkage means something you are not able to complete for a particular day. Correct?
Uh, on the attendance kind of a shrinkage, wherein people are unexpectedly on leave, UPLs
Ha.
or the PLs.
Correct. So unplanned leaves and all this we are counting in a focus factor, no?
Okay.
So here what is, see, the name can be different, but what is
Mm.
happening, you are counting as a focus factor, no? Focus factor of, for example, 80% you are counting. That is what? Shrinkage only, no?
Shrinkage.
80%
Yeah.
for what?
Mm.
What 80% for what? Actual capacity of your
Actual
team would
capacity.
be 256 hour, but it is coming 199 hour. Why? Those
Because
60
they did
hour,
not,
those 56 hour is to
because of
so-called
holiday.
shrinkage in your language.
Mm.
Clear?
Yep, yep. So I was just confused, like why this shrinkage numbers are not matching. I mean, like over here it says that it's 23% of buffer I have kept it, but when I look at the holistic leave planner, I see only
Where
20
23% of buffer it is showing?
over here on the focus factor.
No, no. Total capacity, your available capacity came around 256.6.
256.5, yeah.
And then 77% it is coming as a focus factor.
Yes, and
What?
200 hours as an final capacity.
No, no. How come it will? For example, if you have calculated in a right way, then what
Mm.
you are doing? Every single number you are calculating 80% and you are summing it up. But later on, it is getting converted to 77%. That means there is some mathematical gap. How come? For example, there are five
That
numbers.
is
Oh
There
yeah.
are
Oh, right, right, right,
60%
right,
has
right.
been
Got it.
given for one.
so there is a
Okay,
mathematical
okay.
gap. There is
Mm.
nothing from our side.
Okay, okay. Cool.
Correct? No?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll do that. Thank you.
One Rakesh, if you are very good in Google Sheet, take one classes with all the batch for 1 hour. I'll give you a chance if you can, because Google Sheet is one skill the team should learn. If you are good at, if you want to take
Yeah,
those, if you want to take 1 or 2 hour classes, you can schedule some other time 1 or 2 hour classes. You can coach them how to use Google Sheet. We should learn from each other as well. Making sense?
sure,
If you
sure.
are ready.
Yeah, yeah, I'm ready. I mean, like,
Okay.
it's my day-to-day work. I keep on creating dashboards.
How many of you feel that a Google Sheet sometime we should learn in detail? Google Sheet and all this, we are not that pro. Excel, we are good, but Google Sheet, you need to learn. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So Rakesh, reach out to me if you are willing to take one classes. You can schedule one classes in a weekday or anytime. Okay.
Sure,
So
Rizwan.
Rizwan, is there any difference in Google Sheet and Excel?
There are a lot of
Uh,
same thing functionality wise, and here and there are a lot of difference, a small difference. Rakesh will take care. Yes, there are
I mean, like
difference.
the most advanced formulas, you can use it in Excel,
Hmm.
and the low level of formulations, you can do it on spread because spreadsheet has a lot of limitations.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, you can stop sharing your screen, Rakesh.
Yeah.
Okay, now can you move to the next part, guys? Everyone. Okay, let me share my screen. Very high concentration. Now, last class what we discuss, and for the next 2 hour, please listen to me very carefully. Last classes in the question we have discussed what is capacity and how do you calculate capacity of a team, that is done. What is velocity and how do you calculate the velocity of a team, it is done. Is there this question number third is pending, question number fourth is pending. If complete new team is given, how do you ensure how much work they should take in the first sprint, it is pending. How many question number 6 is already done, you might have practice. Question number 7 is pending, and all these question 8 9 10 11 12 a scope creep and all this, it is pending. Now let's go one by one. First we are going to discuss how do you do the sprint planning and all this using capacity or velocity. If you see my sheet is open, this is what we came up with the capacity of the team yesterday. The capacity of the team came around 202 man hour, remember everyone. Now how do you do the sprint planning, guys? Very high concentration here, that will take 1 hour. But how do you do the sprint planning? Once you go to the simulation, we are going to execute the same thing. How do you do the sprint planning? And sometimes they ask in the interview, hey, how do you facilitate a sprint planning as a scrum master? Very high concentration. And if this answer will give 100%, they will get to know that you are a practical scrum master. How do you facilitate a sprint planning meeting as a scrum master? Now here. Now what you have to do here, how do you facilitate and all this? First thing first, what happened? First I'm giving you the flow. First thing what happened, if they will ask you how do you facilitate a sprint planning meeting as a scrum master, what you have to answer that, hey, 1 day prior of a sprint planning meeting, I schedule a call. Obviously you will call, you will schedule a call, or you will send a meeting invite to the team. Who will send the meeting invite?
Yes, sir.
Meeting invite to the team. We'll send a meeting invite to the team. Now. 1 day prior of a sprint planning, I schedule a call, or I'll send a meeting invite to the team. Because we have a 2 week sprint, you have to say, because we have a 2 week sprint, because we have a 2 week sprint, our sprint planning meeting is scheduled for how many times? How many hours? 1.5 to 2 hours. I have already given.
1.5.
1. Once everyone joins the call, I present team capacity and velocity to the team. You have to prepare. You are a scrum master. You have to prepare team capacity and velocity to the team. You will have already ready velocity of the team, correct? For example, in this example, what was the team capacity? 202 hour. What will happen here? Team capacity is 202 man hour. Velocity, for example, I'm just assuming that a velocity was, for example, 40 story point or something kind of, or for example, you can assume your 30 story point. I'm just assuming velocity. How will you calculate? Average of last 5 spin, correct? I'm just assuming assumption. And whenever this is the velocity, and we also discuss, whenever you take load, we can take 30 plus minus 5%, correct? We discussed in the last class. Able to correlate? Now, so 1 day prior of a sprint planning, I schedule a call or I send a meeting invite. For example, tomorrow is a sprint planning. So what will happen? Today we'll schedule a call for tomorrow. If you have a 2 week sprint, or a sprint planning meeting is scheduled for 1.5 to 2 hours. Once everyone joins the call, I present the team capacity and velocity. Now, once you present the team capacity and velocity, I as a scrum master, this answer you have to say, facilitate the discussion between facilitate the discussion between PO and the developers, like what work they can move from product backlog to the sprint backlog during the sprint planning, correct? But make sure those items are prioritized and meeting definition of ready. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Those items are prioritized and meeting definition of ready. Very high concentration. Hey, what do we do here? Where it is gone now? What we do here, that hey, I as a Scrum Master here, point number 4, I as a Scrum Master facilitate the discussion between the PO and the developers, like what work they can move from product backlog to the sprint backlog during the sprint planning, but make sure those items are prioritized and meeting definition of ready. We also discuss, I also make sure whatever items developers are committing, they have clear understanding of those work. If any question, they can again discuss with PO or a BA or a SA, whoever it is. We also discuss 3 questions here. 3 questions mentioned in a Scrum guide. What are those 3 questions? What, how? Scrum guide पढ़ोगे तब ना बोल पाओगे. What, how,
What, why,
and
and how.
why. What means what items we are going to take in the sprint. What items we are going to plan in the sprint. See here, point number 2. I as a Scrum Master facilitate a discussion between PO and developers, like what work they can move from product backlog to the sprint backlog. So this part I have already covered in point number 4. How we are going to do this? Creation of subtask and utilizing the individual capacity. Once you take the item, I'll explain all this, and creation of subtask and utilizing the individual capacity. Why setting up this? Why this sprint is valuable? Setting the sprint goal. We also discuss if there is any risk and dependency. And in the last, I check the confidence level of developers by asking following questions. Guys, this answer you just go and chipkow in the interview, you will get selected. In the last, I check the confidence level of developers by asking for, hey, what is the first question? Are you confident enough to achieve a sprint goal by end of the sprint? Correct? No, who has to achieve the sprint goal? Developers on the sprint backlog. Second question. Do you see any risk in achieving the sprint goal? Because we need to discuss. Are you committing this work that you will be able to deliver? Any question, are you committing this work that you will be able to deliver? By end of the sprint, and then we start the sprint. This answer, trust me, a Scrum Masters in a real world, when they ask, how do you facilitate the sprint planning meeting as a Scrum Master, they don't have answer. They just start saying anything. Hey, we join the meeting, we take item from product backlog to the sprint backlog and start the meeting. Something nonsense they talk. How to say? Hey, one day prior of sprint planning, I schedule a call. I send the meeting invite. Once everyone join the call, because we have a 2 week sprint, we have a 1.5 to 2 hours. Once everyone join the call, you have to present team capacity and velocity. You have to already prepare, and I as a Scrum Master facilitate the discussion. Hey, what items you can take from a product backlog to the sprint backlog between PO and the developers? Those items should be prioritized and meeting a criteria called definition of ready, correct? And then I also make sure, even you have taken some item, you make sure that, hey, any question, any confusion, anything, even the grooming estimation happen, but still they have a confusion, they are free to ask, correct? No? And then we discuss those 3 questions. What item we are going to plan in a sprint, or how we are going to do this creation of subtask and utilizing the individual capacity, and why this sprint is valuable, setting the sprint goal. And then we discuss any risk and dependency, and in the last you can ask few questions, and then you can start the sprint. Now let me show you what exactly I said. Thoda sa patience, Dr. Sajis, and one more person. You will not be able to raise your hand. Now here, this point, whatever I have just covered, let's take one product backlog. On the product backlog, there will be n number of items. Now, let's assume that this product backlog have very high concentration. This product backlog have, for example, 130 items. It can be, there can be 130 items, 130 user story or something kind of. I'm just assuming here that, hey, these are the estimation for these user stories. Very high concentration. I'm just assuming these are the estimation of this. For example, this is a 5 story point. I'm just writing estimation in terms of a story point. Otherwise, you will get confused. Estimation in terms of a story point. Very high concentration. Now, this is a 5 story point. This is, for example, 8. This is, for example, 2. This is, for example, 3. All Fibonacci numbers should be there. 8, 5, or 8, 5. And I'm just copying and pasting. I'm just assuming that, hey, these are the estimation given. The team has already estimated. Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. Now, I'm just assuming that, hey, out of this, 21 items are already estimated. That means it is groomed, correct? 21 items are groomed and estimated. Remainings are still not estimated. Remainings are still not groomed. And I'm also assuming these are in the priority list. This is the most high priority. This is the second highest priority. This is the third. Already product owner has prioritized the product backlog. Can I assume this? Now, for example, today there is a sprint which is starting on 30th of May. Lot of people 30th of May to 13th of April to 13th of May. 13th of May. And I'm assuming that you are sitting on 30th of April. Today is 30th of April. Can you assume? First, what a Scrum Master has to do? A Scrum Master has to come up with 2 things. One is average velocity of the team. How will you calculate the average velocity? By taking the average of last 5 sprints. For example, it came around.
Historical data.
For example, it came around 30 story point. I'm just assuming that, hey, it came around 30 story point. Now, capacity, we have already discussed that, hey, capacity is around 201 man hours or something was coming here. Capacity of the team is 202 man hour. I have just writing 202 man. This is the input of sprint planning. So Scrum Master has to have early, correct? Now, based on the average velocity, see, first point, what was there that, hey, you will schedule a call. You have already scheduled the call. You have a meeting started. You have presented the capacity and velocity. This point is also done. Now you as a Scrum Master have to facilitate the discussion between PO and developers, like what work they can move from a product backlog to the Scrum. Now what I'll do as a Scrum Master, I'll ask the question, hey team, this is the product backlog. Every single thing we'll see on Jira also. I'm just giving the example that, hey team, this is the product backlog. Product owner, is the product backlog prioritized? Yes. Okay. So what items you can we take? I see that, hey, there are 20 items already groomed, or there are around 21 items already groomed. Can you take first few items? I'll ask the question to PO and the developers. If these are prioritized, can you take these items? Now they're like, yes, we can take it. 30 story point. What is with the 30 story point? If you go here, this is coming around 26. And then, for example, this is not coming around. For example, this is 5. Now, what will happen? We have taken how much? How much it is coming? 5, 8, 13, 2, 15, 18, 8, 26, and 5, 31. So these 6 stories are coming as 31, correct? Now what I will do, we'll move from Control X, and this will come into the Control V, and this will come into the sprint backlog. Total sum, how much is coming? 31. Can we take 31 story point of work? Yes.
31.
Yes.
30 plus minus 5% you can take
Yes.
it. Can you take 31 story point of work? Now once the team has taken, that means they have taken a story 1, a story 2, a story 3, a story 4, a story 5, a story 6, and these are their estimation. These are their estimation. Now, I as a Scrum Master, see there are 3 questions to discuss. What are those 3 questions? What items we are going to take from a product backlog to the sprint backlog? This is what we have already done. How we are going to do this, we will discuss. Before this, hey, I'll ask team, hey team, any question in those stories, any confusion, any question, anything you also discuss, because the developers has to do, correct? No, if they have any question, they can again discuss any risk, any dependencies, all this will discuss. And then what will happen once you have taken this work? Now guys, try to understand, you have these team members. What are those team members? Go here. These are the team members of yours: Omkar, Prasanna, and these are the team members. I will do control C, very high concentration. If you miss the boat, you will miss the boat, and I will not be able to help you after this. Now you go here, very high concentration. If you go here, I'm just pasting it, transpose. Where is transpose? Prasanna was having a location 0%, you remember? I'll remember Prasanna from here. Now these are the team members: Omkar, Mirali, Sohel, Sajis, Rasik, and Ashwin. If you go to here, these are the team members. Dipali, Barsha, Kalpa I have not counted because they are a PO, BA, Scrum Master. Prasanna is not contributing, I have not. Now Omkar was a dev lead. These people were developers, and Sajis was a test lead, and Rasik and Ashwin was a tester. Correct? You remember? What I'll do here, I'll just write their designation here. Hey, Omkar was a dev lead. Mirali was a dev. Sohel was a dev. Sajis was a test lead. Rasik was a tester, and Ashwin was a tester. Correct? Now. This developer ko alag coloring I can do so that you will be able to understand in a much better way. And test lead, tester, and this I am doing a simple different colors. Okay. Now this is the team members. Very high concentration. These are the team members. Now they will have their available capacity. Every single team member will have available capacity, and then they will have the utilized capacity, and then they will have a unutilized capacity. Sunna, whole sprint planning is based on this, and I am guaranteeing in the real world, no Scrum Master does that. They do all nonsense bullshit. Now, available capacity, how will you find? I'll go to the calculate part. What is the available capacity? See here. Omkar. What is the available capacity of Omkar? 22.6, 54. Can I take a
20,
normal number?
yeah,
22, 54, 50, 22, 54, 41. I am just writing it here. 22, 54, 41, and then Sajis, Rashik, and all this. This is a Rashik 31, 16, and 35. 31, 16, and 35. This is the capacity of the team, correct? Available capacity. Now, what will be the total capacity? Very high concentration. What will be the total capacity? Sum of
all of them.
all column. This is the total capacity. If I can drag and drop, remaining things will also come if any number come, correct? Now their capacity is so far not utilized. They have available capacity. So far in the sprint planning, what you have done, guys, very high concern. So far in the sprint planning, what you have done, a Scrum Master presented the velocity and capacity. Based on velocity, you have taken the work from a product backlog to the sprint backlog, and these 6 work we have to do. That means what part is already done, correct? Now we have to concentrate on how part, how we are going to do this. To make clear how we are going to do this, what will happen? Hey, who is going to work on which story? Now, every single work, developer will also get involved, tester will also get involved, correct? Now, what will happen? For example, there will be a dev subtask created, there will be a testing subtask created to utilize the individual capacity, there will be a testing subtask created for every single thing. Now, I'll ask, hey, first story, who is going to do the dev subtask? For example, Mirali is a developer. Mirali raised her hand. Hey, Rizwan, I will take. Hey, Mirali, how much time will take, Mirali? Mirali told, hey, Rizwan, I'll be taking 15 hours or 12 hours. Making sense? What I'll do here, very high concentration. What I'll do, 12 hours. Now, this is another formula. This minus this, very high concentration. Now, what will happen? Mirali was having 54 hours. Mirali has taken already one work. Now, Mirali is left with how much? 42 hours. I have already. They Omkar was 22 hours. Omkar has not taken any work. Omkar has still 22 hours. Sohel was having 41 hours. Sohel has not taken any work. Still, he is left with. So far, you're good. Now, hey. And guys, we don't have to push. It's not like a Scrum Master. Hey, Mirali, you take. Hey, Sajis, you take. Hey, Rasik. No, 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 no. We are just facilitating the discussion. You are asking. Mirali came. Now, we'll ask, hey, testing, who will take this work? Sajis raise his hand. Hey, Rizwan, I will do the testing part of this. And Sajis is like, hey, Rizwan, I will take 8 hours. What I'll do? I'll just go here, utilize capacity 8 hours. The moment I will hit 8 hours, then now Sajis has left 23 hours. Yes or no? Are you able to concentrate what I'm talking about? Yes or no? No. Same way. Hey, second story. Who is going to do this? Omkar raised his hand. Hey, Rizwan, I will do. Hey, Omkar, how will you take? Oh, I will take 15 hours. Okay. Hey, who is going to do the testing work? Rasik is like, hey, Rizwan, I will take and I will take 10 hours or 12 hours. Great. What I'll do? I'll go to the Rasik. I'll give 12 hours. Hey. Third, who is going to do this? Third is a very small work. Omkar is like, hey, Rizwan, I will do this. Hey, Omkar, how much time? Hey, it is a very small story. I'll hardly take 5 hours. Two story point two obviously will be the small story, correct? Now. Omkar 5 hour. 15 plus 5, 20 hour. Hey, who is going to take the testing? Rasik is like, hey, Rizwan, I will do. I will take all my 4 hours. Rasik is like, hey, I'll take all my remaining 4 hours. Now Rasik was having left with 4 hours. 12 plus 4 is equal to 16. Now Rasik is left with nothing. Correct? Hey, who is going to do this? Sohel. Sohel is like, hey, Rizwan, I will do this. But Sohel might take more time because Sohel, for example, kind of a junior person or something. Sohel is like, hey, Rizwan, I'll take, for example, 7 hours. What I'll do? I'll go here. Hey, 7 hours. Now Sohel is left with 34 hours. For example, hey, who is going to the testing work? Ashwin is like, hey, Rizwan, I will do, and I will take 5 hours. Now you might have a question here. Hey, Rizwan, they can give any wrong number also, correct? If they are giving the wrong number, make them accountable. It's not your job to dig deeper. Tell that, hey, whatever the subtask hours you are giving, if anyone coming and asking any question why this subtask were given 5 hour, or why this subtask were given 12 hour, and why this subtask were given 15 hour, you are accountable. We are not a technical people, and you don't have to dig deeper into the technicalities of this. And tell your dev lead and QA lead, hey dev lead, hey test lead, whatever they are giving the hours, make sure that, hey, that is justified. You have to make them accountable. If you start digging deeper, what will happen? You will be a reason of a conflict in the team. You will be a reason of a rift in the team. You should not have to do this. Making sense what I'm trying to say? Making sense? So whatever what you can ask, for example, this is the two story point of view, and someone is asking 20 hour here and 20 hour here also. You can ask, hey, I see only two story point of work is there, but why, how come it is taking so much time? At least that much question you can ask, no? That much question you can ask, no? This much at least you can ask. Apart from this, please make them accountable. Don't be like, hey, why this, why that, why this, why that. Hey, you are accountable, I don't have anything to do. And make sure dev lead and QA lead, you set the expectation that, hey, if any hours they're giving you, please keep an eye on this. For example, same hour, for example, this two story, this is the story number 2, 8 story point given, and these two people are doing same hour. For example, Sohel and Ashwin I'm giving, and they are a junior developer, junior tester, they might take more hour also, correct? No, it depends on the individual person have their own skill set, and same thing, some other person might take more hour. Yes or no? Yes or no? Making sense? What I'm trying to say, our job is to just ask them and make them, let them give any number of hours. Once they give any number of hours, we have to set the expectation that, hey, whatever number of hours you're giving, I don't have any problem. If anyone asking, coming and asking any question, you should be able to justify and set the expectation with the dev lead and the test lead. If any problem, that they should keep eye on this. We are not a technical people. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Yeah, Saranya.
Yes, Rizwan. So you already partially answered the question actually. So regarding like anyway, story points is not equal to man hours. But as
Correct.
you said, for example, Omkar, for a two-story point, he is giving like 20 hours, which is not as good, and it is not seeing relevant also. So is there any cap or limit like for a
Though
two?
there is no cap, there is no limit.
Okay,
Only
it's
thing is
just a common sense we can.
common sense.
Okay,
Correct,
okay,
correct. There is no cap, there is no limit. Now,
okay.
same way, fifth user story, you are going 8 story point. For example, hey, who will take the development work? Uh, Mirali is like, I will take, and Mirali is like, hey, Rizwan, I will take 15 hours. Mirali has already taken 12 hour, 15 hour, 27 hour. Hey, who will take the testing work? For example, testing work, Ashwin has so far not spoken. You can ask, hey, Ashwin, I see you have not taken any work. Would you be able to take? Facilitation means what? Asking the right question. Ashwin is like, yes, yes, yes. Rizwan, I will take. Ashwin is like, hey, Rizwan, I will also need 15 hours. Can happen? So 15 hours here. Now the last task, for example, fifth story point. Here what is happen? Sohail is like, I will take, and Sohail is like, hey, I will take 12 hours. So what will happen? 12, 19, it become 19. And then for example here, Sajish is like that, hey, I will take it and I will take 12 hours. So 8 plus 12, 20. What is happening, guys? What part you discuss here? What items you are going to take from a product backlog to the sprint backlog? Here you took. Now, how they are going to do? They have to plan who will work on dev. Every single story involves multiple stage dev testing, correct? So, dev, who is going to do the dev? Who is going to do the testing? Who is going to do the dev? Who is going to do the testing? Who is going to do the dev? Who is going to do the testing? Why? For example, now the expectation is set. What will happen? The moment first Mirali will start working, what Sajis will be doing? Sajis will be preparing the test cases from day one. Otherwise, what will happen? No one knows that who is going to work on this. Correct? No. Expectations are set, and by doing this, what happened here? Here, very high. By doing this, what happened here? Hey, hey, hey. They're having total capacity as 199 hours. Once is 17 hours capacity is utilized, still 82-hour capacities are not utilized. Yes or no? Now, if I go to the capacity utilization percentage, guys, if I go to the capacity utilization percentage, how much? Again, this is the third matrix. What is the capacity utilization percentage of the team? 82 by 199. Here, this by this 199. And if you do this, it is coming around only 41% capacity of the team is utilized, which is very bad. Ideally, if you ask me, ideally 100% capacity should be utilized, but ideal never happen. In the practical world, even after counting those focus factor, your capacity should be utilized 80 to 85%. Still, we take the buffer of 15% here. Why? Because still they are just estimating it. If you show here, they are just estimating it. That might take more time. They might take. This is not actual hours. This is a estimated hour given by the tester. It might go up, it might go down. To do this, what you do, even the capacity utilization after counting. See, whatever the capacity came here, this is after counting the focus factor. This capacity is what? After counting the focus factor, yes or no? 199 hour the capacity came from where you took. We took from here, and this was after counting the focus factor. But even after this, the recommendation is, again, I'm telling recommendation, there is no hard and fast rule. Agile is agile, which should take 80 to 85%. That means, but our capacity is only utilized 41%. This is wrong. That scenario will not come in a real world also. Once you start doing capacity utilization, it will come around 80-85%. But if that kind of situation, I have literally taken the worst case to make you understand. Now, should we start the sprint by this? Question is, hey, should we start the sprint by this? Now, what happened, guys? We have taken the work. We have taken the work from a product backlog to the sprint backlog here. We have taken the work from a product backlog to the sprint backlog. How also we have done this? Now after how will do why also. Why means why this sprint is valuable. We'll set the sprint goal. What exactly? Should we start the sprint? Answer is no. Your team capacity, team have lot of, still team have 59% or 85 minus 40 or 80 minus 40, around 40 to 45% capacity is still not utilized. You should not start the sprint. What you'll ask, if you see this, you'll ask first question, hey, Is there any other work team is doing? There might be a case that, hey, team will come up with, hey, yes, Rizwan, there is end-to-end testing task. Happens. Every sprint, there will be some testing task end-to-end. Yes. Hey, how much hour it will take? Who is doing this? Sajis is coming as a test lead that, hey, mostly Ashwin and me will be doing, Rizwan. Ashwin and me will be doing. Okay, how much time you guys will take? Sajis is like, hey, Ashwin will take around 10 hours and me will also take 10 hours. Me means Sajis is like, hey, I will also take 10 hours. What will happen? We'll create one in, because these are normal process. 10 hour, for example, what will happen? As here, Ashwin 10 hour, 15 plus 10, 25, and Sajis is like, hey, 10 hour, I'll also take 20 plus 10, 30. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Now. Hey, is there anything? Yes. Hey, we have, production support we are doing, because whatever you deliver, lot of technical issues are coming, lot of bugs are coming, production defects are coming. It keeps coming every single sprint, correct? Okay. So can you create that sub? Yes. We can create this one. You can create one production support issue or production support task. Okay. Who is going to work on this? I see the Mirali has open capacity, Sohel has open capacity, and then from a testing side, I see the Ashwin has open capacity. Hey, mostly the development effort is more in a production support. Testers hardly had to validate anything, correct? So hey, they're like, hey, we will do this. For example, Mirali is like, hey, I will, Rizwan, I will look after. And for example, Sohel is like, hey, Rizwan, I will look after. And they're like, hey, Rizwan, based on the empiricism, how will you decide? Based on the empiricism. Empiricism means how much production issue coming beforehand. So accordingly, they will give the hour. Hey, 8 hour you can reserve the capacity. What will happen? I'll go here. 27 plus is 35. Sohel 19 plus 8, 27. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Now what will happen? Hey, is there any other issue coming? They're like, yes. Hey, Rizwan, there is one spike. Who is working on there is one technical spike. Hey, who is working on this? They're like, hey, uh, from our side, obviously the people will have a bandwidth. Hey, Mirali will be working. Mirali, how much time will take? Mirali is like, hey, I will take 10 hours. Now I'll go here. 19 plus here. 35 plus 10, 45. What will happen here? There is one technical spike got created. Now if you see here, your capacity utilization. If you go to the capacity utilization, I don't know whether if you go to the capacity utilization, 163 by 199, it has gone to 82%. So it's not about only taking this work, ladies and gentlemen. These are ongoing activities for a team. Even they will take some story, they can't stay away with from end-to-end testing. Sometimes if end-to-end testing task is not there, regression task happens before the release. Yes or no? In some things keep going on. If you do this, what will happen, guys? If you do this, what will happen, guys? Your now capacity is like, now if you see out of 199 hour, 163. So now what happened? Apart from these 6 stories, what else got added? One end-to-end testing task got added. What else got added? One end-to-end testing task got added, and then we have a production support got added, technical spike got added. This is how, this is how, this is how production support, technical spike, because these are ongoing activities which you have to add it and you have utilized. Now if you see, our team capacity utilization has gone up and now it is around 82%, which is it actually good? Answer is 100% yes, because our capacity utilization in a practical word should be 80 to 85%. Always take the buffer to be on the safer side. Always take the buffer to be on the safer side. Now it is good. Now you can start the sprint. There might be a case, few people here is one. Even after counting this, for example, it is coming only 70%. Then what you can do, you can ask the team, hey, still it is coming 70%. Can you take one more story? This is how you can increase the velocity. And lot of times here. Lot of times in the interview, they ask the question, hey, Rizwan, your manager is asking to increase the velocity. A very high concentration. Manager is asking to increase the velocity. How do you respond as a Scrum Master? Suno isko, suno idhar. How do you respond as a Scrum Master? Guys, always whenever this kind of question you're asking, always use 2D to 3D. Now, how will I make the story? See here, I am making the story. Hey, Just take that, hey, initially our average velocity was 30%. I'm just making the story. Who knows that you have done or not done? For example, your average velocity was 30 story point. Your manager came and telling that, hey, as part of the yearly KPI, you have to increase the velocity by 20%. 20% is, that means you have to increase the velocity from 30 to 36 story point, correct? Of your team. I'm making just a story. Now, what you can do, you can play on the capacity utilization. Hey, see answer. Hey, yes, I have faced a similar kind of a situation. As part of a yearly goal, my manager reached out to me and tell that, hey, Rizwan, every team as part of that application has to increase their velocity by 20% by end of the year. Our average velocity was around 30, so our task was to kind of increase the velocity from 30 to 36 story point. I understood the reason from my manager, like why do you want to increase the velocity and all this. I got to know that, hey, whole leadership wants to increase the velocity because everyone will obviously would love to increase the velocity because they can get more money or something kind of. Now I came to the team, I discussed first transparency. Transparency means I discussed with the team, hey, this is what is expected from us. This is a part of our yearly KPI and I need to achieve it. First thing what you did, you will go step by step. Directly you can't give 30 to 36. Hey, first go for a 30 to 7% you can increase, or 5%. For example, hey, 7% around, hey, let's target 32 story point. How do you do? You can say, once we started kind of digging deeper, you got to know, hey, our capacity utilization was here very high concentration. Once you started kind of digging deeper, you got to know, hey, our capacity utilization was very high concentration, was only, for example, 60%. Our average velocity was 30, our capacity utilization was only 60%. What you did, I found the gap that, hey, still we have a gap to increase our capacity utilization from 60% to 80%. Yes or no? What you did, first you take from 30 to 32 story point in a few sprint, 30 to 35, that means 7% hike. We struggle for few sprint, but 2 to 3 sprint we struggle, and then we were able to achieve this. And then again in the second, again after 2 to 3 sprint, what will happen? Why, guys, very high concentration. Again after 2 to 3 sprint, we have taken from 32 to 34, and again we struggle for 2 to 3 sprint, and we are able to achieve this. I'll make the story, I'm just making the story. And then again you took from 34 to 36, and after 4 to 5 sprint, we are able to achieve it. Now how will you pack this up? How will I say this? Very high concentration. Question was, your manager is asking to increase the velocity. How do you respond to this situation as a Scrum Master? Let see how I'm using 2D to 3D. Hey, similar kind of situation I faced. I remember when I was working with my previous company, there was one team called Titans. I was handling that team. Our average velocity is around 30 story point. As part of a yearly goal, they have given the target to all team under the application to increase their velocity by 20%. So that means we had to increase the velocity from 30 to 20%, around 36 story point. I brought into the retro. I discussed with the team. While digging deeper, while kind of brainstorming, we got to know that, hey, even our average velocity was 30 story point. Our capacity utilization was only 60%. Ideally, expectation for capacity utilization was 80%. That means you saw the gap of 20%, and and manager was also asking to increase the velocity to 20%. What we did, directly giving the target to a team to increase the velocity in one go by 20% was not feasible. First, we started going by 7%. Hey, let's first achieve 30 to 32%. So from our next sprint, we started taking the work 32 story point. 2 to 3 sprint we struggle, but we were able to achieve this. Again, after once you are able to kind of achieve this, again after 2 to 3 sprint, you took the work from 32 to 34%. 2 to 3 sprint you struggle, you were able to achieve this, and then again you took the same, and by end of 3 months or 4 months, expect 1 or 2 sprint, we are able to achieve the velocity by 36, and we are able to achieve the target, whatever the target they have given. And this is how we increase the velocity of the team. I have just made the story. This has never happened to me. I just made the story, and he will feel like, hey, I'm looking for a person. He's asking, your manager is to asking to increase the velocity. How do you respond? This person has already done this. Who will get selected? The person who has done this, and the person who is going to do that. The person who has done this. Now you might have a question here, Rizwan. To increase the velocity, there is only one way? No. There are n number of ways to increase the velocity. For example, reducing the spillover. If you reduce the spillover, obviously velocity will get increased. Another way to increase the velocity is, for example, defects, reducing the defects. More collaboration. There can be a number of ways. I'm not asking that, hey, there will be one reason. There can be a number of reasons. If you go to my LinkedIn post, I have explained 10 to, if you go later on WIP, then if you come this, there are other ways. I have suggested multiple ways to increase the velocity. I'm not touching this because we are not into that topic. What I'm trying to say, every way will not be applicable for your team. Whatever way, just make the story and tell this, you'll be able to answer it. Making sense what I'm trying to say? Making sense what I'm trying to say? You just have to make the story 2D to 3D. If you're able to do, you will get it. Yes or no? Now what we discuss, and then I'll take all the question. Hey, question was, hey, how do you do the sprint planning and how do you facilitate the sprint planning meeting as a scrum master? Listen, don't go to the theoretical part. Hey, what happened? For example, tomorrow I have a sprint planning. Today, what happens? I'll schedule a call for tomorrow. We have a 2 week sprint, so we schedule a call for 1.5 or 2 hour. Once everyone join, I present the team capacity and velocity. Once I present the team capacity and velocity, I start facilitating the discussion between the product owner and developers, like what items we can move from a product backlog to the sprint backlog, but those items should be prioritized and meeting condition called definition of ready. Correct? Now, based on the average velocity, we take the stories. For example, now we have taken some stories. Our average velocity is, for example, 30. We'll take 30 story point of view. Now, once you take this, I ask the developers, hey, any confusion, any question in understanding those stories? If any confusion, I can ask my PO and a BA to explain those questions or clear their doubt. They should be clear. Once that is done, we go to the how part, like how we can utilize the team capacity. Now, if you go here, what do we do? Every single member have their own capacity, and then we will start creating a subtask and start kind of utilizing their capacity. And once you utilize their capacity, you make sure that, hey, the team capacity utilized by around 80 to 85%. If it is not utilized, I ask in the last that, hey, if there is anything else we are doing, for example, end-to-end testing, the production support, technical aspect or something kind of, we take this and then I set the sprint goal. Why? Ask the question that, hey, is developers committing this? If they are clear, we start the sprint. This is how the sprint planning happens. If you are able to do, I'm betting few people might have worked as your scrum master is doing nonsense. By that time you must have realized time pass करता है कि नहीं सुमीर करता है कि नहीं time pass?
Answer.
What I'm trying to say, we don't know, and this is how the happen. Now you guys understood how the subtask comes into the picture. See, a story level, you are just giving the story point. These are the story level, a story name. These are the story point. But to utilize these stories should be done by some person. So what you are doing? A story level only story point. But to utilize the individual capacity, we are creating a subtask and see how Omkar, out of 22 hour, 20 hour you have utilized the capacity. Mirali, out of 54, 45 hour utilize the capacity. See here. Now, for example, even after this, there is some critical work here. We'll reach out to whom? This person, this person. They have a bandwidth. You'll have the data, no? You'll have the data, no? You will have a data, no? You'll have a bandwidth. You'll go. You don't have to dig deeper that, hey, why 12 hour, why 8 hour? No, make them accountable. Let them on it. Lot of people were confused during the estimation, Rizwan. Sub task, story. What I was telling? थोड़ा सा वेट करो. यही बोल रहा था ना मैं. यही बोल रहा था ना. अब तो आ गया समझ कि कैसे होता है कि अभी भी नहीं आया. Any question please first? Any question please? Ask as many question you can ask. Yeah, Sumir.
Yeah, Rizwan. Okay.
Sumir, you guys raise your hand one by one. I'll go. Sumir.
So, Rizwan, regarding this is on a personal experience. Like, if we are asking team to do the taking the story, then like there was a issue. Like every time Mirali is working on a harder story or like where the story points are
It's not
more.
about harder, and if there is a harder, they will be taking more work. They
Yes,
obviously they will be taking more time. They have to
yes,
utilize the capacity, and mostly you don't have to see this is a Scrum. You have to coach them that hey, Scrum is a self-managed framework. You can't assign. You don't assign. If you assign, no, this is kind of a micromanagement. Let them on it. Who on the sprint backlog? If this work came here, who on the sprint backlog? Developers.
yeah.
Let all the developers kind of sit together and do this. If the team is new, Sumir, one more thing. If the team is new, no, then you can ask all this exercise like, hey, who will take this? Who will take this? Who will? If the team is old, no, even you don't have to do this. Tell them that hey, they directly on it, and they just give you the number. You put this number here. They have to do this. That is their job. But just to teach them how it happens, once or twice you can do this. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? They
Yes,
have to own it. They have to, and make them, these people, make them accountable, dev lead, test lead. Why they are getting paid for that much? घंटा बजाने के लिए क्या? मंदिर का घंटा थोड़ी बजाना है.
yes,
Correct, no?
yes. Got it,
Yes.
Gautam.
Yeah.
One more thing, Rizwan. The other question you asked, like we have to increase the velocity from 20%.
हाँ.
So, like I just had a thought, like uh, uh, there we are showing like our capacity utilization was 60%. So,
Correct.
like, can't
I
they ask
played
like
on this. I literally played. They might ask, hey, why your capacity utilization? Hey, I
yes,
just joined the team new. Before that, I was not a part of the team. And then that was surprising. This is how I increase the velocity. Then he might ask, hey, is there any other? Yes, I can reduce the spillover. You can read how do you reduce this? You can again make the story. Hey, one more thing example I'll give, which I was handling. We're having a continuous spillover of 15 to 17 story point, and you remember 2D to 3D. I told you how to reduce the spillover, and by reducing the spillover, we kind of increase the velocity. Again, one more story you can create. Yes or no? Sumir, it's
got it,
all about framing. If you frame, if you use 2D to 3D, you will get selected, sir.
got it, Rizwan.
Clear?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kalpa.
Rizwan, to the question of the Sumir, so
Hmm.
what if like if dev lead comes to a scrum master and say that like there are some developers who always go with a simple task, they are not ready to pick up
Hmm.
the harder task.
Hmm.
So as me as scrum master, how would I have
You
to?
just have to, if that is the situation, schedule, go to the retro, or if not retro, schedule an internal call with only the particular developers. Share your concern, come up with the improvement ideas, track them. Saying goes a long way. You don't have to just say, okay, let's have a call between internal developers. There are 3 developers, no? These are the 3 developers. What you can do? You can have an internal call with this Omkar, Mirali, and Sohel. Correct, no?
Yeah.
Let's have a call. Hey, we have, and then you have to coach them that hey, it's not about simple and all this. This is our job to do this. They have to do this, and you have to come up whenever you are having a meeting, a small retro or something kind of. Let's come up with the action item and follow on those action item. If you start doing for 2 to 3 spin, they will start doing it. Still, they are not listening and they're not doing it. Once or twice, again have a call, and if still they are not listening, reach out to their managers. Share your
Okay.
concern. You directly don't have to go to the manager. Once or twice you have to counsel and you have to set the expectation. And every meeting, dear Scrum Masters here, every meeting, whatever you are going, must ensure that the meeting is fruitful. And what do you mean by meeting is fruitful? You must have some action items with proper accountabilities, proper due dates. Otherwise, you go to the meeting, nothing, just मुंह से बोल के आ गए तो कुछ नहीं होने जाने को. You have to have meeting का मतलब there must be some expectation set, there must be some action item, there must be some due date, and if you document it, no, people will start listening. Still they're not listening, reach out to their managers. Clear?
Yeah, and one more, Rizwan, we were talking about earlier when the product backlog moved to the sprint backlog, we had a utilization only around 41%. So then we picked up some more items like end-to-end testing and this one. So my question is like, for example, after all the sprint backlog, I mean, done, the goals are done, we pick up some production support bug to work on. What if that gets spillover, not able, I mean, if it is not able to complete in that sprint, will that be
No,
considered as a spillover?
that will complete it, and again new task will create it. See, these are not going to add any value to the kind of, these are the defect task. These is story delivered value, right? These are the new functionality, correct? No. So
Yes.
this, whatever the work, whatever the hours you have given, that you have given based on empiricism. Like
Okay.
previously that much time. So if it is coming like this, Great. If it is not coming like this also, you can mark it closed because you have just taken the task.
Okay.
And again, in the next sprint, again the team needs end-to-end testing or production support or technical spike, you can again create it. A story you can't. If a story is not able to complete, then you can't kind of complete it. You have to spill over. But these things you can spill over because these are not delivering any value as such, new functionality, new +1 increment. Correct? No?
Yes.
You are getting what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, got it. And Rizwan, one thing, for example, I've committed to 31 SP, but I had some time in between. So my developer had pulled one more story saying that they'll complete within a sprint, but they did not do it. So still it considers spillover and the velocity.
100% it will consider. If you committed and you are not able to deliver, 100% it will come as a spillover, and we need to. So whenever they are committing, commit something which you can complete it. Otherwise, it will be counted as spillover.
Okay, thank you.
Got it? Very good question.
Just
Yeah.
Just
Yes,
one.
adding to the Kalpashri question, Rizwan, whenever we have the sprint, for example, the third sprint has few spillovers. In the fourth sprint, while we are doing this, the planning, can we still continue it, saying that this person, for example, already Mirali or Omkar already had couple of backlogs which is pending from their end, which requires
I'm not able to
6 hours
understand.
of
I'm not
work
able
or
to
8
understand
hours.
your questions. Can you repeat again, Madhu? A lot of background noise. Can you repeat again?
I'm sorry. The thing is, like, whenever there is the sprint getting completed and we are going to the new sprint. For example, there is a spillover, and can we still go back and add this with the available, the capacity?
Yes,
Can we go back
100%. No,
and say,
because that
for
came
example,
in a new sprint. No, if it is came in a new sprint, it will be again doing that. Hey, how much remaining time is there, and again you will be counting those. No, because it will come in the new sprint. No, correct? No, Madhu.
the spillover, whenever there is a story which is still pending. For example, the story I've taken it stating 12 hours, I'll be completing it. Even after 12 hours, I did not complete. I will ask in the next sprint. I'll say
Yes,
that I need 5 more hours.
and you can count those 5 hours. You are estimating, no, sir. This is estimated hour. It might take while doing. These are you are working in agile. If you forget the basic concept of agile, then no one can help you. This 12 hour is estimated hour. It might take
But
8 more
the
hour. For example,
but the
Mirali.
story point remains the same.
Yes, a story point has nothing to do with the man hours. No, a story point
but
has nothing to do with the
when I'm
man hours.
correct, but when I'm even though I'm driving the work and the story point remains the same, that will have an impact for the the
Sir,
overall
a story point will be the same here. If ours is getting more, then what will happen if you are spilling over in the next sprint? And for example, Mirali again need 8 hours. You can add 8 hours here, no, in Mirali in the next sprint. What is the problem? I have told no the same story. For example, the basic concept is not clear. I told the same example instead of Mirali and Sadish, I'll give to Omkar and Rasik. They might take different hours because their skill set might be different. If I'll give to Sohel and Ashwin same story, they might take different hour. A story point has not equal to any man hour. If, for example, Mirali given 12 hour, but there is some dependencies come, there is some high criticality comes or something come, Mirali might need 8 more hours. And for example, this sprint she was not able to get a time and this got a spillover and 8 hour additional she need. Again, next sprint planning will have the same format being built up, correct? There, Mirali, you can give extra 8 hours, no? Why are you making it complicated?
got it, Rizwan.
स्टोरी पॉइंट्स इसको इससे मत करो मेरे भाई, यहाँ बढ़ेगा तो ये नहीं बढ़ता. A story point has nothing to do with the man hours. A story pointing itself you have given after considering complexity, unknown, risk, and dependencies. So you know that there will be complexity might come in the future, risk might come into the picture, unknowns might come in the picture, and that's why after counting all this, you have given those story point. If some complexity, risk, and all this come, obviously it might go up, no, might go down. Only thing you remember that a story point has nothing to do with the man hours. Simple. Are you getting my point?
Yes, clear.
Yes. Next. Yeah, Meenakshi.
Yeah, so Rizwan, you said that there will be a call facilitated by Scrum Master before the sprint planning meeting to clear the doubts of the developers. So it will be done post the
There will be
backlog
call
refinement.
scheduled by Scrum Master for what?
to clear the doubts of the.
No. During the sprint planning, you have to clear the doubt of a developer. What I say, one day prior of a sprint planning. For
Yes.
example, tomorrow you have a sprint planning. So today you will set the call for tomorrow.
Okay. So this is for sprint planning only. There will be
Only
no
is
separate call.
no separate call.
Okay. So one
Clear?
more question. Yeah, one more question I have. So about creating the subtasks under the user stories, it will be done during the sprint planning. So will that be mandate for the developers and testers to create those subtasks so that we can
Yes,
give the timing?
correct. They have to create the subtask in Jira, or if they are new, they don't know how to create the subtask, you can coach them how to create it, and then they will start creating it. Yes, a good company, they create the subtask and testing start. Some company, what happen if they don't want to go with this approach, they directly take this work and that same story keep assigning. Some company might see the hey dev subtask, testing subtask, they are not creating. That is also okay. What they do as a team, they take for example 31 story point of work, and for example initially developer will working. Once developer will complete the work, he will assign to some tester, and again some tester will complete the work. Same story will assign to the PO approval, and same some PO approval, then it will go to the done. So lot of companies they directly create their story and then they keep moving from one person to another till the time it is marking as done. Lot of places what happen, because if you go by this approach what I just said, you will not be able to utilize the capacity of. There might be some person who is working hard, there might be some person who is free, but lot of companies if you go, they create the dev subtask, testing subtask to utilize the individual capacity. It depends on the company to company, but this is the right approach what I am telling. Because you need to make sure no one is overburdened, no one is underburdened. If you don't go by this approach, what will happen? दो लोग लगता है ना, किसी भी टीम में जाओगे लगता है ना दो लोग बहुत काम कर रहे हैं. Everything is being done by 2 people and 3 people are just taking rest.
Yeah.
If you will not go by this approach, 3 people will only take rest and 2 people will only work hard. If you go by this approach, you will be at least kind of make a more healthy, more better team. Yes or no?
Yeah, but unless the developer is done with the development, tester won't be able to start testing.
Why testers will prepare the test cases, no?
Okay.
Testers prepare the test scenario, test cases, no? And there
Okay,
might
so
be some spillover, some defect, some other end-to-end testing tasks. There will be some other thing that testers will be there. It's not like I told you, first 5 days when the developers do the work, testers write the test cases. Testers, if any spillover work is there, testers test those spillover work. Go to the first or second class, Meenakshi. I have already discussed these parts.
Yeah. Okay.
Every single thing is discussed in the class. How you are revising, that is important. Yeah, Rachna.
So my question is regarding this only. In my organization, the testing is always getting spillover because developers are taking too much of time. So what is the ideal practice? In my organization, they are spilling over just the testing part and the dev they are marking as done. But how can they mark it as done? Because
you have to set the expectation. You have to bring into the retro. If you remember, when I was taking the 2D to 3 day classes, I gave one example that 5 days for a developer and 5 days for a tester. Have you set the expectation to organization? Ideally, if the developers is taking 5 days, no, they are taking 10 days, because last 5 days when they complete the work, last 5 days of the previous sprint plus the next 5 days for this sprint. So total ideally they are also taking 10 days. But are you setting those expectations? Are you coming up with all this? So anything is coming, you have to bring into the retro and come up with how we can do. 10 days to answer your question, 10 days is enough to complete the development also, testing also. But you need to plan, you need to change their mindset, and changing a mindset is the most difficult task.
Let's suppose if they are not changing their mindset. So
so you have,
as a Scrum Master,
you need to coach them. Only simple solution is you need to coach them again and again, and still they are not listening. You need to escalate it against the team, because every time a spillover will come, then there is a problem. It will be difficult for you to answer. It will be difficult for them to answer. So you need to escalate them. You should, if you have the action point, first if you escalate, on what basis you can escalate? You can only escalate on the basis if you have done some work. If you escalate, your manager will come, hey, did you take any retro? Did those points discuss in the retro? Now you're like, no, I have just escalated. They will throw you out of the company. What the hell you are talking about? For what you have hired you? First, you need to do your homework, then only you will be in a situation to escalate them, no? So if you start having 2 to 3 retro, bring those points, document it, drop that email that, hey, this is what you have discussed, and I still see there is no progress and they are adamant not to change. You have a leadership team, you have a resource manager, you have a delivery manager, you can reach out to them that, hey, this is the situation I am in, this is what I have documented, now I need your help. Now they will listen to you.
So my question is, should I spill over the whole task or only the testing task? That my
Again, this is the document. This is again subjective part. Now, guys, lot of times people ask like, hey, here, let me go here. For example, there is one story of 5 story point. Now, for example, the situation is, hey, dev work is completed, testing work is not done, and today is the sprint closure. Should we spill over the full story? And today is this spillover. Today is a spillover. Not today is a spillover. Today is the last day of the sprint.
Sprint end.
What should we do? Should we spill over the full story? Or should we split it? And this they will ask in the interview also. Very high concentration, guys. Both 99% of the companies or 90% of the companies follow this approach. They split the user story. Now the problem is, try to understand. Let's go by the first case, this case. Should we split it? For example, 5 story, what they do? Development is completed. A Scrum Master will ask, hey developer, what do you think? What is the development effort in this? Developer is telling, hey, this 3 story point is a dev effort and 2 story point seems like a testing effort. You will confirm with both dev lead or a test lead or tester. 2 story point is a testing. What he'll do? This original story was a 5 story point. He will divide into 2. He will create one dev task and give 3 story point, and he will close it. Because the dev is completed. And a story, the original story point of a story was 5 story point. They will change the story point to 2 story point. Original story, which was 5 story point, now they will change to 2 story point, because 3 story point they have already counted here. Total is coming 5. And what they will do? They will spill over this. Spill over to the next sprint. Why they are doing this? Let's understand the logic why they are doing this. Try to understand. For example, you have taken 30 story point of work. Try to understand. For example, they have taken this 31 story point of work. Very high concentration. They have taken 31 story point of work. Now, and this was the case. I am discussing about this story, 5 story point. If they fully spill over it, what will happen? 5 story point of will get a spill over, correct? Now, for example, they will divide in this 3 story point, they will kite and close, and 2 story point will get a spillover. Then only 2 story point will get a spillover. Correct, no? To reduce the spillover, they do this approach. To reduce the spillover, they do this approach. Now. Is it right? If you ask me as an agile coach, is it right? I will say no. पूछो क्यों? I will say no. पता है क्यों? The moment you will come up with this prediction, your developers and testers will have a mindset. Hey, my Scrum Master comes in the last day, and what they do, whatever you are able to complete, he is very good in splitting the work. He has split the work. Okay, even if you are not able to complete completely, fine. Splitting will get done. So, do you think their mindset will be anywhere close to achieve the sprint goal? No. So this is a wrong approach, but yes, in the real world, it happens. Better would be whole 5 story point I'll spill over. I'll have a proper retro, come up with the action point 2 to 3 times, 2 to 3 months, 5 months, 10 months, or 1 or 2 months will suffer. But later on, I will change the mindset that, hey, they will not think in completing half and spilling over half. Better suggestion would be this. Now, if they will ask you the question, hey, for example, how do they ask a question? Listen very carefully. Very good question. Hey, for example, you have one story of 5 story point each. Developer has completed this, but testing is not completed, and you have today is the last day to close the sprint. How will you do this? Do you extend the sprint for one more day? No. A sprint will close on that day only. Correct? A sprint will close on that day only. Hey, so what do you do? Hey, there are two approach. One is spilling over whole to the next sprint, and second is kind of splitting these stories into two. 90% admit it, because you're going as a scrum master, real world scrum master. Hey, 99% of the companies, what they do, they if there is a 5 story point of it, they will reach out to developer and tester, and they will kind of, a scrum master will ask what is the development effort and testing effort. If development is completed, that particular, for example, development was 3 story point of work, they will complete it and close it, and those 2 story point they will spill over. By doing this, what happened? They're just minimizing the spillover so that the questions will not be asked. But is it a right approach? No, because the mindset, agile is more about mindset and philosophy. Agile is what? Mindset or a philosophy. The team mindset will be disturbed, like, hey, in the last my scrum master comes and he split the user stories, so they will never be thinking in terms of achieving the sprint goal. Better practice would be that whole 5 story point will spill over, will have a proper retro, will come up with a strict action item, and then we'll work on this. Yes or no? Then only will can. Those team who have a practice of splitting, no, they never achieve the sprint goal. And I'm telling you real word, 99% of the company, I'm telling you to hold my senses, 99% ज्यादा हो गया, 90% of the company, they don't even set the sprint goal. कभी देखा है यहाँ पे कुछ लोग स्क्रम टीम में काम कर रहे हैं, देखा है स्प्रिंट गोल भी सेट करते नहीं करते? बेसिक प्रिंसिपल इफ यू रीड द स्क्रम गाइड अचीविंग दिस, एंड ये स्प्रिंट गोल सेट नहीं करते तो इनको तो पता ही नहीं कि स्प्रिंट गोल अचीव करना होता. दे डोंट नो यू हैव टू अचीव द स्प्रिंट गोल. वो क्या करते? पूरा गलत काम करते. चलो स्प्लिट करते हैं, ये करते हो, जस्ट दे आर saving themselves. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? This is a wrong approach. So say that, hey, this happens. You have to admit this happens and explain this is a wrong approach and say what is the right approach. That is how you need to answer it. Then you will look like a agile expert. Making sense? Clear? Rachna, any other question?
Just addition to this question. Sorry, go ahead, Rachna, if you have any.
So I'm clear with this, Rizwan. And the tasks that are not including to the sprint value. So my Scrum Master is saying that I will not create the task because this is not adding value to the sprint goal. So either we are calculating it in the capacity planning, or either we are taking it as a separate task.
Which task will not create?
Like the task you are saying, na end-to-end testing or some production issues maybe.
No, that needs
there
to
is.
be. एक लाइन यहाँ पे
That's
लिख लो. वो स्क्रम मास्टर बेवकूफ होगा आपका. मैं बताता हूँ, इधर लिखो. Whatever your team is doing, यहाँ पे लिख लो और इसको ना अपने वॉल पे पेस्ट कर लेना. Whatever your team is doing, for every single effort, some issue type needs to be created. Some issue type means अगर स्टोरी नीडेड है स्टोरी, टास्क नीडेड है टास्क. क्यों? अब इसका लॉजिक समझो. अगर आपने नहीं क्रिएट किया, फॉर एग्जांपल सुमीर हमारा एक अच्छा डेवलपर है. सुमीर इज नॉट देयर, सो आई नॉट टेक एग्जांपल. फॉर एग्जांपल सोहेल हमारा एक अच्छा डेवलपर है. नाउ दिस सोहेल is doing some work and you are not creating any end-to-end testing or something kind of. क्या होगा? सोहेल अलग से काम दे रहा है तो हम यहाँ पे काउंट नहीं कर पाएंगे. And if you will not be able to count, what will happen? Sohail might be overutilized.
Yes, correct.
भाई काउंट करने में क्या जा रहा है? Sprint goal will sit on this only. This will not be a part of a sprint goal, but we are creating just to count and utilize the individual capacity. उसको बताओ कि भैया ये ठीक है, नहीं होता है, हम इसी पे स्प्रिंट गोल सेट करेंगे. पहले तो ये स्प्रिंट गोल तो सेट कर मेरे भाई. वो करता नहीं और फिर बोलता क्या है कि ये नहीं करेंगे. आर यू गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से? अब आपने रिजवान की क्लास ले ली है. यू टॉक विथ हर and coach him. Now you need to coach him. You become his agile coach. Clear?
Yeah.
ये पता लगा सबको? मैं तो बोलता हूं कि भाई मेरे पास तो डेवलपर आते हैं, हे रिजवान मेरा जीरा ट्रेनिंग है 2-3 घंटे का. हाँ, create a task to utilize your capacity if you have not counted in your non-productive hours. Every single effort you are doing, that should be counted. Otherwise, what will happen? You end up doing more and that will not be counted and it will look like, hey, you are not doing work. Very important, super important. Clear?
Yes.
Clear?
And that we will show to stakeholders as well, Rizwan. Like if stakeholders came and this person is getting underutilized.
First, stakeholders, The business stakeholders is a very long term. Like a stakeholder can be business also, your IT leadership also. Mostly IT leadership team will
IT
ask all. The
leadership.
business will not ask. Business को delivery से मतलब है भैया. बिजनेस को
IT
क्या मतलब है,
leadership
तुम
I'm
क्या कर
talking
रहे हो,
about
किसको
here.
यूटिलाइज कर रहे हो, उनको क्या मतलब है भाई. उनको काम चाहिए ना. करेक्ट नो.
Correct. If IT leadership came and to
हाँ, so they
ask us
should know
like
ना
why it is.
which person is doing what. So that is there,
Okay.
no, that is documented. If it is not documented, then that is a problem. See, this is also equally important, no, Rachna. This is also equally important, no. This is also equal.
Yeah,
So why
correct.
it should not be there? It should 100% be there.
Correct, correct.
आपका स्क्रम मास्टर वो CSM सर्टिफाइड होगा, PSM होगा, उसके अलावा उसने कुछ किया नहीं, प्रैक्टिकल पढ़ाई नहीं उसने. हाँ, समझ गए.
Clear, Rizwan. Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. Sumir.
Yes, so just two more things, Rizwan. One is like this end-to-end task and production support, technical spike, or all these related any queries or doubt they will have, they will do it in grooming call or in this sprint call.
Any
Like,
call. If needed, they can do in the grooming call. If needed, they can discuss in.
so we
This
can
is
pre-plan this thing like that we need to take this in.
100%, and based on empiricism, you have to pre-plan.
Yes.
Empiricism, because this issue might come later on. Production support that might not be there during the sprint planning, but while doing the sprint, that might come in between. And if it is coming, this is a part of what? Your sprint backlog. This is part of what, Sumir? Sprint
Yes,
backlog.
sprint backlog.
A sprint backlog will be discussed during the daily stand-up.
Yes.
So during the daily stand-up, can you discuss this? Yes or no?
Yes.
So we can discuss. Collaboration over contract negotiation, one of the agile values, Sumir sir. Correct, no? Next.
And one more thing, like if we can see that capacity utilization is like 80% or 82%, and still can we push team to have like, we know that the one story point can go to the like spillover, but development work will be done. Can we like in real life do we
Yeah, you
use
can
the
do this, but only take the development part.
Okay.
Only take the development part. Don't take every single thing. You can do this, but my suggestion ideally would be, please don't push your team to 80, more than 80 to 85%, because you don't know. There will be a lot of uncertainty during the sprint will also come. So if there is a buffer there also, no, they will be in a situation to do this. Never utilize your team to 100%. Give them again a time to breathe, because you know lot of unknowns. You are working in agile. This is not a waterfall. Correct, no, Sumir?
Yes.
So breathe करने के लिए time हमको देना. One of the Scrum Master responsibility is they seal the team. They make sure the team is working healthy. Culture is healthy. It's our job to build it. And if you have this knowledge, no, then you will talk in terms. For example, they might ask, hey, your capacity is only 50-60% of. You can say you have a lot of other work. Now you will talk in the language of a Scrum Master. Otherwise, your leadership team can make you fool. Anyone can, any Tom, Dick, and Harry will come, will make you fool and go away. And then later you will realize, hey, भैया ये तो मेरे को पता ही नहीं था, बेवकूफ बना के चला गया. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes,
A lot of knowledge, a lot of information. These classes are so important that you can't even imagine, and all those questions will come from here. If you're able to understand, you'll be able to make them fool. I'm telling you now, in the last class when I tell that, hey, training is ended, you will realize there were only 5 topics. Rizwan has made us fool for the next 3 months. I'm just changing your mindset. Clear? Clear. Now this question, how to discuss? See, there is question of how do you do the sprint planning, using capacity or velocity, or using both? Answer: yes, during the sprint planning, based on the average velocity, we take the work. And capacity, whenever you calculate the capacity, we'll have the individual capacity for every single team member. We create a subtask to utilize the individual capacity. So both comes into the picture. Yes or no? Both comes into the picture. So if they will ask you, how do you do the sprint planning? Velocity is needed. Velocity is for how many story points of work will take from product backlog to the sprint backlog. Now, once you taken the work, capacity, every single member will have their individual capacity, correct? We create the subtask and utilize the individual capacity. Yes or no? So both comes in the picture or not comes in the picture? What should be the capacity utilization percentage? 82, 85%. Are you getting my point? So this is what the velocity. Lot of companies, one disclaimer I'm adding, lot of companies you go to the real world, they just have a story created. और वो क्या करते? ये वाला काम ही नहीं करते. I think I already explained now. They don't do all this nonsense. Okay, a story. First, it is assigned to, for example, developer is working, for example, Mirali. Mirali once complete, Mirali directly assigned to the Sajis. They don't even utilize the capacity, and by doing this, what happened? Some are overutilized, some are underutilized. You don't know. Second, and there is a cons for this also. If you are doing this, now there is a cons for this also. It looks like you are micromanaging them. Don't you think it looks like you are micromanaging them? So there is a pro also that work can be distributed equally, and you can utilize the individual capacity. Cons for this is it's kind of go towards the micromanagement. It doesn't give the freedom. Pro for this, for example, you're just creating the story, you're not creating the subtask. Pro for this is more towards freedom, not micromanagement. Cons for this is 2 people will have lot of work, 3 people will just be enjoying the work. एक आता है ना कहावत, एक बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में कि I am able to forget, but yeah, they say in Hindi, no, that बने रहो पगला काम करेगा अगला. सुना है?
Yeah.
हाँ, तो वो जो पगला बनते इधर, कुछ लोग काम ही नहीं करते और बस दिखाते रहो अपना काम कि भाई मीटिंग में खूब बोलो, लगे कि भाई ओ माय गॉड दिस पर्सन इज डूइंग, रियलिटी दैट पर्सन इज नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग. आर यू गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से? मेकिंग सेंस? These videos are very important. Yeah, Sajesh.
Yeah, Rizwan. So as you mentioned right earlier that in some of the organization we do not create any subtasks. So as a Scrum Master, can we introduce or
obviously you can introduce. You can introduce. You are free to do that.
Okay, it's not kind of an organization policy.
You remember I told you Agile COE. You remember? As a Scrum Master, one of the responsibility, I am a part of a Agile COE where you come up with multiple improvement. अब वो इंटरव्यू में पूछ देगा, कैन यू टेल मी वन इंप्रूवमेंट यू कम अप विद? एक ये इंप्रूवमेंट चिपका दो ना. हे, वी कम अप विद creation of subtasks and utilization of individual capacity. Initially it was not happening. बोल सकते हो ना? नहीं तो वहां पे बोलोगे अरे ये तो बस मैंने रिजवान ने बताया था, कर लिया था, मेरे को इंप्रूवमेंट पता ही नहीं है. तब क्या लगोगे? फुलिश. कब कहाँ किसको कनेक्ट करना है यही तो सीखना है इधर. सजीश?
Yes. Yep.
Got your answer?
Yep.
Now, guys, here. Why? How do you do the sprint planning? You have to this. How do you facilitate the call? You guys have to go to this sheet. I will update the sheet, and this you have to practice. Otherwise, you'll not be able to see. It's all about framing. It's all about framing. It's all about framing. It's all about framing. You have to practice, and this question you will be able to answer now. Any doubt in this question? Question number 4. Now, is there any correlation between capacity and velocity? Fast. Anyone? Rakesh, is there any correlation between capacity and velocity? Rakesh or Jay? Guys. First thing, the same thing you can chipkaw them here also.
Yes.
Plus. सुनो मेरे भाई. Plus का मतलब plus, and then if we take the work based on average velocity, we take the story point based on average velocity.
Yeah.
But if there is any spike or decline in the capacity, you remember 2 cases we discussed? कौन सा 2 केस था? दिवाली वैकेशन प्लस एडिशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेज. We go by unit mathematics, so there both comes in the picture. Yes or no? सब पढ़ाया है, दिक्कत क्या है, हम डाल नहीं पा रहे भैया, कहाँ किसको कब क्या करना. So is there any correlation between capacity and velocity? If I have to answer, listen, hey, as such, there is not that much correlation between capacity and velocity, but yes, during the sprint planning, whatever the works we take from product backlog to the sprint backlog, we take the work based on the average velocity. Once you have taken the work, now you have to utilize the individual capacity. So we create the subtask and based on the individual capacity utilize. Second, if there is any a spike or a decline in your capacity because of Diwali vacation, or if there is some any critical work which needs to deliver faster and they're adding the resources, then we can't take the average velocity. You have to use the unit mathematics, and accordingly we do this. Yes or no? Making sense?
Yes.
These kind of answers make sense, and then they will get to know you know things. कल I was telling you yesterday, थोड़ा सा मेरे को
Yeah.
टाइम दे दो, पेशेंस करने दो, मैं बताता ना.
Yes.
Clear? So question number 1, 2, 3, 4 happen. Question number 5. You guys need a break or 10-minute break, or you guys want to continue?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Okay. 12:19, 12:30 we are meeting. Okay. Chalo. 12:30. We'll discuss other questions. Everyone is back. Hi everyone.
Yes.
Come on video. So, Rasik, how is it going, sir? Good?
Yes, Rizwan, all going good.
Others come on video fast. Rakesh, Rinkesh, Bharti, Madhu. I don't know. I got a lot of cold. I'm feeling weakness from inside.
Yeah, Rizwan.
Yeah, I need to take care. Bharti, Mirali, Meenakshi, come on video fast. Others, Mukesh was about to come in a video in next 5 minutes. Okay. Now, let me share my screen. Okay, so see my screen. Question number 1 discuss, 2 discuss, 3 discuss, 4th discuss, 5th. If complete new team is given, how you ensure how much work they should take in the first sprint? They should go by capacity and velocity. Because first complete new team will not have fast. Complete new team will not have
Velocity, average velocity.
correct. So
Historical
how to handle this, guys? There are two ways here. One first way is safe method. Safe will be discussing in the future class, but that is one method. And second is bottom up approach. You know bottom up? वो वाला bottom up नहीं. This is a different bottom up. Okay. Now safe method. How safe said? For example, safe says simple. For a 2 week sprint and for a complete new team who don't have average velocity, what they have to do? Just per person 8 story point. For example, you remember team 1, how many members were there? 10 members, correct? Out of 10 members, one scrum master were there, one product owner were there, one BA were there, 4 developers, and 3 testers. No. They are not a part of a capacity, exclude them. Now we are left with 7 people. What SAFe suggests is that directly 7 into 8 is equal to 56 story point. If there is any planned leave, for example, there is one mandatory holiday. So all 7 will be on leave. Every single person -1. So -1 into 7. -7. If for example total planned leave is 5. So -1 into 5. -5. What I did just guys, SAFe suggests simple method. Because you will not have average velocity, how much work will be taking for a new team. SAFe is telling for a new team per person at a story point, excluding obviously a scrum master, PO and a BA. Now we are left with 7. 7 into 8, 56. But if there is any mandatory holiday, mandatory all 7 people will be on leave, -1 into 7. Total plan leave, for example, 5. 5 means one day Meenakshi is on leave, another day Hanspal is on leave, Rachna is on leave, Bharti is on leave. So -5. Now final story point, how much work you should be taking? 56 -7 -5. 44 story point. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? If this is a 1 week sprint, you might have a 1 week sprint also, correct? If it is a 1 week sprint, what SAFe suggests is nothing. You just divide by 4. So what will happen here? 7 Fox. The same team, if you have a 1 week sprint, what will happen? 7 into 4 is equal to 28. And for example, there are same leaves are there. So 28 -7 -5 is equal to 14 story point. Are you getting my point? This is recommended by SAFE. Now. Another thing. This is one method. Another method is bottom up approach. What is bottom up approach? Keep taking the work till the time your team capacity is not utilized 80 to 85%. So how it will happen? What do you mean by this? If you don't have average velocity, let's go by this method. If you don't have average velocity, what will happen? You will not be knowing like, hey, how much work you have to take, correct? First story, highest priority story will take. And obviously your team will have the capacity already, correct? The team will have the capacity. This part will be there. This part will be there with the team, correct? First story will take ask hours. And obviously you will keep updating. So your capacity utilization will keep going up 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%. Keep taking the work till the time your capacity is not 80 to 85%. For example, you taken 5 work. And here, the moment you take these 5 work, your capacity will utilize 80%. You will stop here. That means that much work will have to take. This is called bottom up. Filling the bottle up, bottom up approach. Any one of the approach, this one or this one you can, but again question is one. Okay, we understood this one. But till when we need to use it? Because at one point of time, better picture will not be given. This is just a नया गाड़ी का accelerator. We take the bike from a showroom. This is just a starting point. We have to give something. But till when we need to use, but again, till we need to use the velocity part. Guys, obviously velocity you can calculate a minimum 3 to 4 sprint. For example, the same team, a sprint 1, a sprint 2, very high concentration, a sprint 3, a sprint 4, a sprint 5, a sprint 6. I'm just giving the example. They committed something. This is a committed story point. Whatever you have come up with a safe method also. For example, you came up with 44. This is a committed. They have to commit 44 story point, correct? For example, they committed 44. But actual delivery will come once the team will start working. Now, for example, they delivered 32. And guys, if new team is there, they will deliver anything because they are still learning. New team will deliver anything. For example, they deliver 32. Second, again, for example, there were some more leaves or something kind of. I'm talking the example of a second sprint. For example, they take 46, but they delivered here 40 story point. Here, for example, they again taken 50 story point of work, and they again delivered around 42 story point. For example, here, for example, they again taken 48 story point of work, and they delivered 43 story point. Now, what is happening, guys? See, the committed will come from where? This method, any of the method. Either you'll go by bottom approach or this method will calculate. First few sprint will have to calculate by this method, correct? Now, you committed. Now you see that your velocity is stabilized. Now every sprint they are giving 40, 40, 40. That means now, see, there are a lot of spillover. If you go here, what is the spillover? 44 minus 32 is equal to 12 story point. 46 minus 40 is equal to 6 story point. If you go here, 50 minus 42 is equal to 8 story point. 48 minus 43 is equal. There are a lot of spillover, correct? No one cares about the spillover because the team is new. They have to stabilize. Once you see that, hey, their velocity is now coming constant, they delivered its velocity. Now from fifth sprint, you can start taking the average. Now you'll be committing the average. Average is around what, 41 or 40. Now instead of committing this much, we'll start committing 41. And again, for example, 41 you have taken and you delivered 40. So based on the average velocity, now we'll start taking it. Now we have a stabilized data. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Now there might be a case, Rizwan. There might be a second case. सुनो अच्छे से, इधर lot of things है. Now you come here, there might be a second case. Hey, 44 32. Here they hardly deliver 12 story point. Here they hardly deliver again 34 story point. For again here 25 story point. For example, here again spillover part I'm just later on we can do. And here for example they delivered 41. Now, and here for example you're taking on the safe method only. For example, you took 48, and for example here also you took around 450. You are taking on the safe method only. You are not going with the average value. Now you see here there is lot of variation in the value delivered story point. This team is still not stabilized. How come? See, sometimes they're delivering 41, sometimes 34, 30. How can we take the average velocity? You will wait for few more sprint for team to get stabilized. And then start taking average value. You understood both the cases? What I'm trying to say, guys, again I'm repeating very high concentration here. Again, what I'm repeating that hey, if the complete team complete new, the question was this: if complete new team is given, how do you ensure how much work they should take in the first sprint? They should go by capacity or velocity. Safe method suggests that hey, 2 week sprint per person 8 story point, 7 into 8 56. Now you might have a doubt here is one, but some person will be very kind of less experience. How can they give 8 story point? It is a overall team has to do 56, not every person 8. Just his calculation. Now holiday you will adjust and whatever will come 44. That means that much. This is just a starting point. Or if you don't want to go with this method, you can directly go with the bottom up approach. Whatever is coming, that much will be committing. But whatever will committed, delivered can be anything because they are still learning. They're a new team. No one going to ask for a few sprint why this much is spillover because they know this is a new team. Once it will start getting stabilized, then we'll start taking average of minimum 3 to 4 sprint. Clear? But in case the second case, if this is not stabilized, then we'll wait for few more. See here, sometime 12, sometime 34, 25, 41, anything they are delivering. Correct? No? They are new team. That means there might be some problem with the estimation. There might be some problem with something else. We have to coach them, and accordingly once they will kind of getting stabilized after few sprint, then we'll have to start taking the work based on the average velocity. So what basically we are doing, safe method or a bottom up approach? It's just a starting point for a new team, correct? But later on we have to switch to average velocity. Making sense? Making sense? And this question they ask in the interview, 90% of the people don't have an answer. Making sense? Any question here?
I have a question, Rizwan. On the
Tell me.
safe method, if I see there, we are not keeping any buffer. We are just committing per person as 8 SP and
That is
calculating.
after calculating the buffer and all this. Safe suggests that is just a starting point. Whatever you're telling, no, this is you are talking in terms of a story point. Buffer you keep in capacity, man hours.
Okay.
So we took, for example, you came up with 56, no, or 44 story point. Now this is just a story point. They also know that hey, they can deliver anything. Because something you need to start, no, some base thing should be there, no, Kalpa. Once you start it, then you will accordingly start going. You are getting my point, what I'm trying to say?
So yeah, I got confused. Probably after we come up with a final story point, we should do a focus factor of 85% and then come
That is on capacity, not on velocity.
Got it.
Capacity and velocity are different, correct? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saranya.
Yes, Rizwan. So, to start with, since team is struggling, can we just start with a 1 week sprint and then once team is stabilized, then
What you can start with? What you can start with?
1 week sprint and then later on, once the team is stabilized, can we move to
1 week? How come 1 week team will get stabilized? Like you came up with a 1 week purpose. Explain me if by going with 1 week, how come you will make team stabilized?
Deliver
Then there
some
will be
small
more
small
pressure for
stories
them.
and then understand how
No, so
much.
you can take the small story in 2 week also. No, what is wrong in it? The more small you take, the more better it would be. No, how come 1 week will serve your purpose? 1 week will have more faster feedback loop. Team will have more pressure to deliver. They will have to review with the business. They will have to gather the requirement faster so that they can groom their story. Multiple events will be there. Multiple this will be there. 1 week will not serve your purpose.
Okay.
Here there is nothing to do with the sprint length and something kind of.
Okay.
Making sense?
Hmm.
Yes. Any other question? So everyone understood? If they will ask me this question, how will I answer? Yeah, Sumir.
Rizwan, in real life, which approach
This is a real life, sir. हम real life ही सिखाते.
no, like in both of them, which one should we should go with?
Anyone. If I will be at your place, I'll go with the safe method. But you can go with the bottom up approach also. If you love bottom up, go with bottom up. And correct, no, Sumir? You got it? What I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Preetham.
Yeah, so if we use a safe for new team, so are we going to calculate the capacity as well? Like,
Obviously, capacity will be there. No?
okay,
Once you,
all right.
for example, you took 44 story point of work, how would you utilize the individual capacity?
Yeah, okay. So we'll utilize
This is
that
just
as
a starting 44 story point. So here you will be taking 44 story point of work. Here, like this, how you taken 44
well.
story point of work, and then you will be utilizing again the individual capacity. No, this is just a starting point. Velocity is not there.
All right.
Capacity will be there. No, Pritam.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Ravindra.
So Rizwan, there we are deducting that. Can you go to that notepad?
Here.
And no, that notepad. Yeah, here. So here we are deducting that one mandatory holiday, total planned leaves from the story point. We are deducting, right?
Correct.
That will come for the velocity. We are
That a story point
the
is
capacity.
velocity. No. We are deduct. This is a rule given by the safe. How much you have taken, how much you can take it. This is the yes. Well, whatever the people are not available, yes, you have to deduct from a capacity. So capacity also will get deducted. Whenever you calculate this team capacity, from a capacity also it will get deducted. But from a velocity, safe has suggested the starting point that this is the way you can go with. They have suggested. I am not suggesting from my end. That hey, tell me.
No, but here story point we calculate based upon the complexity. Now we're
Sir,
reducing from
just this is just a starting point. This is just a starting point. That hey, how to start with something you need to start with. No, भैया इतना काम लेके करना है. We have to take that much story point and you need to work on, right? So they have considered this is not the real figure. They know that hey, even if you take this much work, you are not going to deliver that much work. You can end up delivering anything because your team is completely new. Correct? No. Once they will stabilize, then we'll go by the average velocity only. And this is the right figure. This is just a starting method they have given. Hey, chalo, starting का ये चीज है. For example, you'll ask me, hey, baseline, why you give one story point? I don't have answer. This is a standard law. You'll ask me, hey, why unit of mass is kg? Why something is not? How can I say this? Correct, no?
Yes.
This is their rule. Just to start with. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, if I have to answer this question, hey, if complete new team is given, how to ensure how much work they should take in the first sprint? See, if the complete new team is given, there are two approach. One is a safe method, another is a bottom up approach. Safe method is safe suggests that hey, if you have a 2 week sprint, every single person excluding PO, BA, SM should be given 8 story point. For example, my team has 10 member. If I exclude myself, PO and a BA will be left with 7 into 8, 56. And then if for example there is a holiday, per holiday per person I will count -1. But per plan leave per person I'll give -1. For example, one holiday is there, 7 -7, and 5 plan leave -5. So 56 minus 12 is equal to 44. That means we'll be taking 44 story point of work, but we end up delivering anything. We'll keep doing the same using 3 to 4 sprint. And if you see that the delivered story point is getting stabilized, then we'll start going by the average velocity. Even with the bottom up approach, we'll keep taking the work till the time your team capacity utilized 85%. And whatever the work will come, we'll keep delivering. There might be a lot of difference between committed and delivered because the team is completely new. But once their delivered story point will kind of start getting stabilized, we'll again go by the average velocity only. So in both the cases, we'll go by the average velocity only. Clear? You need to have this answer, then you look practical. Clear? Yeah. Now Now, here. Question number 5 we discussed, 6 we have already discussed, 7 what is focus factor and buffer? Focus factor is nothing but for the ability of a team to focus on a sprint goal without any impediment and blocker. I have already discussed in the note back. Okay, and buffer is, guys, buffer is 100 minus focus factor. Yes or no? Buffer is 100 minus focus factor, or focus factor is 100 minus buffer. Yes or no? 100 minus buffer. Correct. And how will you do? Focus factor का definition I'm just writing for you here. Focus factor, it is nothing but ability of a team to focus on a sprint goal without impediment or blocker. And what can be the blocker? Basically, focus factor we come up with uncertainties, complexities, risk, unknowns, dependencies, planned leaves, sick or urgent leave, sick, unplanned leave. For this, we take the focus factor of 80 to 85%. Correct, no? So they'll ask you what is focus factor. Focus factor is nothing but the ability of a team to focus on a sprint goal without impediment and blocker. What happens whenever you calculate the capacity? While calculating the capacity, you take every single thing. You take the plan leave into the account. We take total productive hour, number of available days, but you don't take uncertainties, complexity, risk, dependencies, and sick leave and all this, because that will come later on. You can't have those details before starting the sprint. So to accommodate this, you take the focus factor of 80 to 85%. So whatever the available capacity comes, you multiply by this. That will become the actual capacity of the team, and accordingly we plan the work. Yes or no? And buffer is 100 minus focus factor, or focus factor is equal to 100 minus buffer. Any doubt in this question? Clear? Same thing? Okay. Now, question number 8. If there's a lot of unplanned leaves in between the sprint and you have to complete all work by end of the sprint, as everything is very critical and urgent, how do you plan this work? First, who will answer? Kalpa? If there's a lot of unplanned leaves in between the sprint and you have to complete all work by end of the sprint, as everything is very critical and urgent, how do you plan those work?
I'll take the.
We'll go to the resource. Oh, sorry.
Shadow resources. I mean,
yes.
I can
First, our answer is focus factor can accommodate something. Correct?
Yes.
If still I'll see the risk, there are a lot of. If there's a lot of that focus factor can't, lot of unplanned leaves. If focus factor can't accommodate,
then go for
focus factor can't accommodate, what I'll do? I'll first check with my team. Directly you can't go. I'll first check with my team that if we can deliver by like extending some hour once in a while, because this condition will not come every time. Correct, no?
Yes.
So I'll first check with my team that if you can deliver by extending some hours, because that will once in a blue moon. Guys, please, that will be once. Guys, please, that will be once in a blue moon. Blue moon ka matlab rarely. That will be once in a blue moon. If yes, problem resolved. If not, I will ask some other team, or I'll check with some other team, Scrum Master and PO. Other team, Scrum Master and PO. If they have some open capacity to accommodate few work. If you can give few work, completely fine. Correct? Chalo bhai, tum kar lo. If yes, problem resolved. If no, I will reach out to the resource manager or a delivery manager and ask for additional resource. यहाँ तो मिल ही जाता है क्योंकि उसी के लिए उनको बनाया गया है. If yes, problem resolved. If no,
we can ask for rescope again. No?
that yes. If that again, one more point you can add here. Very good point. One more point. Hey, first can accommodate lot of unplanned leave. Focus factor can accommodate. If I'll first check with my team if you can deliver by extending hours, that will be great. Before that, you can check one more thing. What Kalpa said that hey, if we can de-scope something by having a discussion with PO, or something which is not priority, can you move? Correct? No? If yes, problem resolved. If no, then I'll first check with my team if you can deliver by extending hour. You should not directly go with the extending hour. If they can do, great. If not, I'll ask some other team if they can take it. If no, I'll ask resource delivery manager. If yes, problem resolved. If no, then I will seek a help from a leadership team. Yes or no? Our job is to kind of keep raising the risk. We should try all those options. Guys, by this stage, no, 100% your problem will resolve. Either at the first stage itself it will get resolved, second stage. If not, by this stage 100%. If not, you go to the leadership. Leadership are leadership because they these kind of situation they come across daily life and they will have extra resources to accommodate. Yes or no? Yes or no? Clear? Answers are clear?
Yes.
What in this question, what they are testing now? How much you can think. How much you can think. How much you can think. If this you are able to answer, and they will ask you, hey, okay, you will go to the you will go, if you can de-scope something by, but what if PO is telling no that hey everything is important, you can't de-scope. What will you do? Yeah, I'll check with my team. If they can deliver by extending hours, they're like, hey, okay, but they are telling no, they can't deliver, they can't extend hours. Then what will you do? I'll ask some other team. Oh, but other teams are telling they don't have a bandwidth. Then what will you do? Then I'll reach out to deliver. Oh, okay, they are telling they don't have a. Then what will you do? I'll seek a help from a leadership team. फिर वहां पे कोई पागल इंसान होगा बोलेगा if no then what will you do? Then we will raise the risk to the business. हमने तो सबको बता दिया ना. Then we will raise the risk to the PO or a business that hey, this is the situation we are in and it will be difficult. Raising a risk is very important. You should let them know in advance that hey, this is the way. Are you getting my point? So you need to go one step by another, one step by another. Making sense? But कोई और पागल होगा बोलेगा hey, business is telling, business is totally frustrated that hey, why are you telling raising the risk? We want at any cost. Totally frustrated, and they are telling we want this at any cost. Then, bhai, business will escalate to whom? Leadership. You have already told leadership. They will not question you now. Are you getting my point? You have already gone to all of them, no? They will not question you now because if resources are lot of unplanned leaves, nothing, then what you can do? I have knocked every door. I have gone to the resource manager door. I have gone to the leadership door. I have gone to some other team doors. I have gone to some here and there doors. Every door I have knocked. Now, if they will raise the risk or they are frustrated, obviously they will go to a leadership team. Leadership will give the solution. But by this time, your problem is already resolved. By this time, your problem is already, if they know that hey, they will not let you go anywhere. They will have some options, but if they ask, you should have an answer for this. Making sense? Making sense? Making sense? Okay. Question number 9. Difference between capacity and velocity. We already know. Capacity is total number of productive hours available for a Scrum team, man hours. Velocity is how much work your team is actually delivering a story point. Clear? Both difference you know?
Capacity, also we can add the point that capacity keeps changing from sprint to sprint, but velocity may remain constant over a period of time.
Yes. If you want, you can. Clear? Question number 10. How do you utilize full capacity, making sure team is not burn out? Answer is here only that hey, we Whenever we utilize the capacity after creation of subtask, we take 80 to 85% capacity utilization only. Because if 100% more than 100%, then the team will burn out, no? Why are giving 10 to 15% buffer? To if any extra here and there coming, and these are all estimated work. Whatever these work are estimated, if it is taking more time, so the team has still 15%. Correct, no? So to answer this question, every single thing was related here. To answer this question, like, hey, how do you utilize full capacity, making sure team is not burn out? Hey, whenever you take the work during the sprint planning, we take based on the average velocity. Once you have taken the work, for example, I have average velocity of 30 story point. I've taken 6 stories of 5 story point each. Now we'll create the subtask and utilize the individual capacity. Every single team member in a team will have their capacity. We make sure that every team member is not taking more than whatever their individual capacity is. इसके पास 54 आवर है, वो 54 आवर से ज्यादा नहीं ले रहा है, and overall team capacity is not going beyond 80 to 85%. Then the team will not burn out. You have to answer in that way. Any doubt in question number 10? Clear? Clear? No. Your manager is asking to increase velocity. How do you respond? Already you discussed. Correct? What is a scope creep? And how do you handle this situation as a Scrum Master? Let me, you guys have 30 minutes, correct, everyone? Everyone has 30 minutes, correct?
Yes.
Now, let me go and discuss this situation. Very high concentration. What is a scope creep? How do you handle this situation? Or same question they ask in this. Or, for example, your team average velocity is 40 story point of work, and they have already committed 40 story point. That means they don't have extra bandwidth. They've already committed 40 story point of work, and they don't have any additional bandwidth. Plan any extra work. Suddenly, in between the sprint, your PO comes with 2 stories of 5 story point each. There was one situation I gave two or three classes back. During the sprint planning, PO came. This is in between the sprint. Both are different. Read between the lines. Your PO comes with 2 stories of 5 story point each. How will you handle the situation as a Scrum Master? Clear? Clear? Both are same scope creep. Initial scope. What is the answer for this very high concentration? Initial scope. Still people are not on video, guys. Please be on video so that I can also enjoy. At least appreciate my effort that this person is not well but still giving his best. At least listen थोड़ा सा आते हैं ना वीडियो पे, अच्छा लगेगा सबको. कैसे एनर्जी है ही नहीं. ग्रीन टी पिया करो भाई. इधर बोथ आर द सेम क्वेश्चन. अब ये एवरेज गलत लिखा गया तो कोई बोलेगा ट्रेनर को लिखने नहीं आता. सही लिख देता हूं भाई. आ जाओ इधर. What is a scope creep? How do you handle this situation as a scope? How do you handle this situation as a Scrum Master? Now, what is a scope first? A scope is different and a scope creep is different. Correct, no? Now, we'll discuss on different level. First, let me see. A scope can be on a sprint level. A scope can be user story level. And a scope can be the epic level. What is the scope of this training? Scrum, Safe, Kanban, Jira, Confluence, 2-week sprint simulation, mock interviews. This is the scope of this training. What is out of a scope of this training? extreme programming. What is the out of scope of this training? Any topic, SQL, Python. So what is a scope, out of a scope? You understood? A scope means what is included, boundary. Out of a scope is outside the boundary. Now, here. What is a scope creep? Or sometimes it is called as a scope change. Whenever, यहाँ पे एक line लिख लो. Whenever they ask for a scope creep, उन गधों को बस एक ही पता रहता है कि स्प्रिंट स्कोप क्रीप. मतलब वो ये सुनना चाहते, जब हमको उनको ये वाली डीजे पे गाना सुनना है तो हम वही डीजे बजाएंगे. Correct, no? Whatever the DJ they want to hear, the same DJ will kind of, yes. Now, so we don't have to confirm, hey, okay, you are all talking about what? For example, this is a very lame question. What is a score creep? How do you handle? Here, he is not specifying anything. This question is a lame question. Here it can be a sprint scope creep, user story scope creep, epic level scope creep. You don't have to direct go and start answering a sprint scope creep, because that person is wanting a DJ on this, a sprint scope creep. Clear? Rinkesh, clear? Now, how to handle? I'll come to this part a little bit later on. Every single I'll discuss. Let's discuss this question is a sprint scope creep, correct? 40 story point, 2 stories or 5 in between the sprint. So this is initial scope for this story was 40. Initial scope for this sprint was how much? 40 story point, correct? Now, final scope, how much it became? 40 plus 10. PO wants to come up with 10 more, 50 story point. That means there is a scope change. इतना समझ में आया क्या? Yes or no? There is a scope change or a scope creep, correct? So far you are good. Now, that means this question or this question is same. We have to just assume a sprint scope creep. Clear? Now, how do you handle this situation? And guys, there will be multiple scenario based question. First answer will be, guys, whenever you answer any question, what you have to do? Transparency, inspection, and तीसरा क्या होता है? Adaptation. Now. और इन तीनों को क्या बोलते साथ में? इन तीनों को साथ में क्या बोलते? Three pillars of Scrum. Now. What we'll do? First thing, this is the situation came up with. You are a Scrum Master, and this situation came up with. You committed your work at 40. Your average velocity is 40. Your bandwidth is full. 10 story point they come up with. How will you handle? First thing first, transparency. You are not a decision maker. You will facilitate those discussion. We'll discuss with team. Correct, no? We'll bring in front of a team. We'll brought this in front of team. First step. Second step is we'll ask PO, because your bandwidth is already full. You'll ask PO if we can de-scope equivalent story point of work to accommodate this. Correct, no? Yes or no? Clear. समझो इधर समझो. First we'll brush this in front of a team. एक और point लिख लो. I'll also ask PO the grooming status and all. Correct, no? When this will get groomed. And then third point, we'll also ask the PO, can't we take this work in next sprint? What is the wrong in checking? Correct, no? Because if you read between the lines, say, suddenly in between the sprint, PO comes to a story, how do you handle? Nowhere PO is telling that, hey, you have to do in this sprint. Read the question again. Now, the moment you'll ask this question, hey, Can't you take this work in the next sprint? Now PO telling yes. If PO is telling yes, your problem resolved. Correct, no? Yes or no? भाई नेक्स्ट स्प्रिंट में इसको ले लेना है तो क्या दिक्कत है? Problem resolved, no? PO is telling no, no, this is a very high priority. Then what will you do? Then we'll ask PO if you can de-scope equivalent story point of work to accommodate. मतलब अब if 10 you are coming up with, यहाँ से 10 हटाओ, ये 10 लो. Reshuffling. Correct, no? If PO is okay, PO is okay. Problem resolved. कुछ करना ही नहीं है. PO is like no. PO is no. Everything is priority. I can't remove anything. Everything is priority. I can't remove anything. Then you are in a situation that this 10 you have to take it, correct? This 10 you have to take it. Now what will you do? You will check with your developers. Developers, whenever checking, everyone will check with your developers. Mostly your dev lead and a QA lead. Can you accommodate this? If once in a while, if this is a problem, you should be agile enough responding to changeover, following a plan. You don't have to be kind of a waterfall, correct? Now, your developers are telling yes, yes, we can tell. Mostly developers tell yes, problem resolved. But they are telling no. And they have all the right to say no. Then what will you do? Then you reach out to other Scrum teams. Other Scrum teams. Similar kind of folks, some other Scrum teams will also be there. Other Scrum team, mostly SMMPO, and ask if they have a bandwidth to accommodate this work. Mostly there also few people will respond. If yes, problem resolved. If no, then no. Then if no, then we'll go for you will reach out to your resource and delivery manager. If you go to the resource and delivery manager, no, this person will ask this question. Hey, did you reach out to some other team? You have already done the exercise. Hey, did you talk with your developers? If you don't talk with developer and directly jump the gun, he will tell you go and check the developers and come. And sometime you lied. That no, yeah, I have checked the developer. And now the resource manager, delivery manager is checking with the developer. They're like, no, we can do this work. We don't need any additional resource. आपका क्या कट जाएगा? C. समझते हो? वो नहीं कटना है. करेक्ट. तो ये पूछ के जाना है. वहां पे बलफ नहीं करना है. No. You will reach out to resource and delivery manager and ask for extra resource. If yes, problem resolved. If no, then you will go to your leadership team. हमारा काम है दुनिया को बता देना हम जिंदा है. जिंदा हो तो जिंदा दिखना जरूरी है. सुना है? If you are alive, you should look like you are alive. Yes or no? No. You will go to your leadership team and ask for a help. अब कोई पूछेगा भाई ये गो कैसे करते हैं? भैया मीटिंग शेड्यूल कर लो, मेल डाल दो, मैसेज कर दो, कम्युनिकेट करना है. करेक्ट नो राधिका? After a long time,
Yes.
you will go to your leadership team and ask for a help. If yes, problem resolved. If no, अब तो सब जगह पहुंच गए. We will raise a risk to a PO and business that we might not be able to complete by end of the sprint. Correct, no? Guys, try to understand how they ask the question. How many scenario based question? They will ask you this. What is a scope creep? How do you handle this situation as a Scrum Master? Yes, a scope creep is something where, for example, you have taken our average velocity is 40. If you have taken the work of 40 and our bandwidth is full, now PO is coming suddenly with 10 story point of extra work. Now our final scope will change to 50. This is called a scope creep or a scope change. Similar kind of situation I have faced already as a Scrum Master. In this kind of situation, what you have to do? First, what I'll do, I'll go and discuss with the team about the situation if my PO bring, and then I will ask my PO like, hey, what is the grooming status and all this. For example, it is not groom, then what is the use of discussion now? Tell me first grooming and all this, correct? No. Now after this we'll ask my PO, hey, can't you take this work in the next sprint? If PO is telling yeah, you can take in the next sprint, then the problem resolved. No, if PO is like no, this is a very high priority and we need to deliver in the current sprint only, we need to deliver in a current sprint only, then what do you do? I will ask PO that, hey, if you can remove equivalent story point of work to accommodate this so that our bandit will be the same, team will not overburden. If PO is okay, problem resolved. If no, PO is telling everything is priority, I can't remove anything, then I'll ask developer that, hey, if they can accommodate this, because once in a while if this situation is coming, developers can work a little bit harder than they can. If and most of the time developers say yes, problem. If no, then I will reach out to other Scrum team, PO and if they can take it, yes, problem resolved. If no, then I reach out to resource delivery manager. If yes, problem resolved. If no, then I'll go to your leadership team. If yes, problem resolved. If no, I'll go and raise a risk. Guys, by this stage, no. Ultimately, by this stage, 90%, 80% of the problem will go and get resolved by this stage only. 10 to 20% प्रॉब्लम गो हियर रिसोर्स एंड डिलीवरी. यहाँ तक कोई आता ही नहीं है लीडरशिप टीम तक, बिकॉज दे नो दैट अगर मैं ना बोलूंगा ये लीडर के पास जाएगा. तो अपना भी तो रहना ना कि हाँ भाई हम भी हैं. And they will ask you, dig deeper, hey, if no, what will you do? If no, what will you do? If no, what will you do? I'm giving you all the scenarios. But they don't stop here. They can ask another question. क्योंकि वो भी जिद्दी है और हम भी जिद्दी हैं. अब they will ask another question. Hey, what if PO has a habit to bring this kind of work always in between the sprint? हमेशा ही लेके आ रहा है. चलो एक बार तो भाई हम ये करते रहेंगे, ये रोज थोड़ी करना है. डेली every time this PO is coming and making our life, then what will you do? Answer for this is we will have the work agreement. You remember we will have a work agreement before the training. Few people are not following, I know, but we will have a work agreement and we'll clearly write that once or twice if you are bringing the work, it's okay, we understood, we are working in agile. But if every time we'll say no, guys, every time if PO is no, if every time PO is coming up with, if every time no, if PO is coming, that means there is something wrong with the planning. Agar every time PO is coming, that means there must be something wrong. What I'll do, I will have a call as a Scrum Master with PO and a business and share my concern. Like, hey, why those works are not getting highlighted before sprint planning and suddenly after 2 days of sprint planning these works are coming? I'll have a call as a Scrum Master with PO and a business and share my concern. And what is the concern? Why the works are not getting identified? And we'll come up with the action item. And I will follow up on those action items. Are you getting my point? So if what if PO has a habit to bring this kind of work always, First, go discuss the work agreement during the retro, and at this point, hey, once or twice is okay. We are working in Agile. Every time if you are coming up with, then directly developer or a Scrum Master can say no. What is work agreement? What PO expect from a developer or a business? Developer or a Scrum Master? What a Scrum Master expects from a PO and developer? And what developer expects from a PO and a Scrum Master? That is work agreement, correct? We'll write it. Once or twice we'll accept it, but every time we'll say no. Now PO will be like, hey, they will remind. And now if every time is coming, I'll directly remind PO that, hey, read the work agreement, and I will have a great excuse to say no. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? And apart, I'll not stop here. I'll also, there must be something wrong. I'll have a call as a Scrum Master with PO and a business and share my concern that, hey, how come 2 days before when a sprint planning is happening, then there is no high priority, and after 2 days suddenly something is coming and it becomes a very high priority, correct? No, I'll come up with those action item and I'll follow up with those action item. No, यहाँ पे ना जिसका लेफ्ट ब्रेन होता है, किसी किसी का लेफ्ट ब्रेन होता है ना, यहाँ पे है किसी का लेफ्ट ब्रेन? किसी का नहीं है भैया। लेफ्ट ब्रेन का मतलब ये नहीं कि ब्रेन लेफ्ट में होगा। ब्रेन ब्रेन इज राइट, ब्रेन इज एट द राइट साइड और लेफ्ट साइड? फास्ट, ब्रेन लेफ्ट में होता राइट में होता?
Both sides.
Both the sides.
Both the sides.
There are two brains.
No, like
Yes.
Left and right side.
Parts of the brain.
ब्रेन इज एट द लेफ्ट साइड और राइट साइड?
ब्रेन का लेफ्ट या फिर राइट साइड?
yes.
अभी तो ब्रेन की लगी पड़ी है, क्या ही बताएं, 3 घंटे से क्लास चल रहा है। What I'm trying to say, some left brain people who think differently, what they will say, here is one. If PO has a habit to come, आप लोग नहीं सोच सकते, मैं सोच के खुद ही आपको आंसर दे रहा हूँ। PO is a habit to come every time 10 story point in between the sprint. ये नहीं कर सकते क्या रिजवान की हमारा फॉर एग्जांपल एवरेज वेलोसिटी है 40 और ये इंटरव्यूअर क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, 10 स्टोरी पॉइंट कैपेसिटी रिजर्व कर लेते ना, तो हम 30 स्टोरी पॉइंट का ही वर्क लेंगे और हमको पता है कि 10 लेके आएगा तो हमारे को बैंडविड्थ रहेगा। इसको क्या बोलते हैं? बैंडेज अप्रोच। मतलब हम नहीं होता है मैनेज कर रहे कैसे भी करके। We should go with a corrective action or a preventive action?
Corrective.
Preventive. It should not come at the first place. Corrective ये है, which is wrong. Once or twice is okay, but every time it is coming, we should take the preventive measures.
Okay.
अभी corrective measure आज तक चल रहा था ना। Very sad news. This पहलगाम कुछ समझौता type of corrective. Now, if India will not take the preventive action, they will not punish the culprit and they should remember for a whole life. Again, they will do after 1 year, and then again take a life of innocent people, nonsense idiots. So we need to take a corrective action or a preventive action. Preventive action. We should take a action that they should remember for 100 years. So we need to take a preventive action, not a corrective action. If these kind of things are coming, ये 10 story point capacity reserve and all this a corrective action. That means you are promoting PO कि भैया लेके आओ, हम हैं इधर, तुम इंडिया के अंदर घुसो, हम हैं। नहीं भैया, ऐसा करना है कि मरेंगे। I'm giving an example to correlate. What I'm trying to say is, we should always come up with a preventive action. Yes or no? Making sense what I'm trying to say? So the left brain people might think like this, hey, okay, we can 10 story point reason. No, this is a bandage approach. Better to come up with a preventive action, and preventive action is it. Have a scheduled retro, and this is a preventive. Yes or no, Sudarshan? Clear?
Yes.
So this question, everyone is clear? Guys, you have to answer in this, and you should be ready. Just if they will ask no, till this point, you say the answer and then shut your mouth. Wait for this person to ask what if no. then this answer. Hey, again, what if no? This answer. Then what if no? This answer. Everything you don't have to say. Otherwise लगेगा ये पक्का रट के आया. थोड़ा एक्टिंग करना ना. हाँ हाँ, ओ I'll do this, ओ I'll do this. तब लगेगा भैया एक्सपर्ट से बात हो रही. We need to showcase that you are expert, no? तो ये नहीं कि भैया यहाँ से स्टार्ट किया और ये 9 PM वाला न्यूज है, अंजना ओम कश्यप देख के पढ़ दिया. हम we don't have to become Anjana Om Kashyap or any one by one. We have to wait. Hey, he will ask this question. I'll have answer. He will ask this question. Second line of question, third line of question, and accordingly we'll answer. So here. A sprint label, a scope creep, you understood. And guys, this was the addition of a scope. What you just discussed, the 10 story point got added. This was addition of a scope. There might be a question that है question number 2. सुनो अच्छे से. Question number 2. Average velocity 40 story point, but 2 story point, 2 story of 10 story point, we don't need anymore. What will you do as a scrum master? That can also be the situation in between the sprint. 2 story point of 2 story of 10 story point, don't need 2 story of 10 story point. This is a situation of in between the sprint. What will you do as a scrum master, Sumir?
We will pick another stories from the product backlog.
यही प्रॉब्लम है. हमने ट्रांसपेरेंसी इंस्पेक्शन किया ही नहीं. मीनाक्षी, अभी मीनाक्षी को मैं बताऊंगा तो मीनाक्षी बोली यस रिजवान इज राइट. मीनाक्षी, transparency means I'll discuss with the team. Inspection means, hey, this code, this 2 story of 5 story point each you are telling, or 10 story point total, where it is, there can be two situations. First situation, coding is already done, and code is deployed into a testing branch. Coding is already done and code is already deployed into testing. तो ये चाहिए नहीं तो टेस्टिंग ब्रांच से हटाना पड़ेगा. What we'll do, in this case we'll create one task to remove the code, because we don't need. Remove the code, and then again tester have to retest. Yes or no? But second case, coding is in progress. Coding mostly happens in their local system. This is not integrated. Code is not integrated with other. Then okay. Then we are okay. Yes or no? Did you inspect this as a scrum master? No. Directly, hey, I will take the equivalent story point. No. Guys, if this kind of question will come, hey, what we'll discuss? First, I'll bring in front of a team. I'll ask the team, hey, this to a story, what is the status now? If code is already done and code is already deployed to testing, that means you have to revert the code. You have to revert the code or remove the code. And there will be effort needed for reverting the code, and again testing happens. Correct? No? Then again, testers have to retest. There will be some effort for this. We'll give some effort. And if after giving the effort, here two things will come into the picture. After giving the effort, here, if after giving the effort, one time will come into the picture, another remaining work will come in. Remaining, how much you can take, these two things will come into the picture. Remaining means, for example, PO bring on the 7th day. Now we have how many days left, Meenakshi? 3 days. So in 3 days, for example, 10 story point getting removed. Now in 3 days, can you take 10 story point? No. And you have to revert the code also. So you need to take time constant also you need to say. And how much work you can take at that point of time, that also you need to figure. How will you decide? There is no formula after discussing with the team. Inspection भैया करना सीखो. समझ आ रहा. And coding is in progress, then that doesn't need any effort, code is in the local, then what will take here also time, and this also come into the picture, correct? No, which date we are in, and accordingly we will be taking that much work. Yes or no? Alexa, can stop. Alexa, stop. Yes. You understood what I'm trying to say? So there can be multiple scenario based question. I'm only discussing scenario based questions. Are you getting what I now? Yeah, Rinkesh, you have a question, please.
Rizwan, just to understand such scenarios, I mean, where some PO comes into the picture suddenly and asks to add something or to remove something. This is because of the business pushes conditions or situations to POs, or because of the lack
No,
of the
business.
understanding from POs?
Mostly what I have seen from my personal experience, PO is not that proactive and
Okay.
not communicating with the business, and suddenly it is becoming a news to PO.
Okay.
So your job is to coach the PO again and again, and that's what I do. No solution. I have a PO and a BA call every single day. PO, BA, and SM call just before the daily stand up. I ask a number of questions to them. I kind of make them run. So daily, you as a Scrum Master, no, ask 100 questions to them, and schedule one call, half an hour. Discuss every single thing, future, here, there. Make him run. You got it, Rinkesh?
Yes, got it.
So guys, two scenarios we discussed. Discuss here. Now, this was the sprint level scope creep. Second level of scope creep is user story level. अब ये क्या है? अब ये सुनना भैया, सुनना इधर 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 इधर. एक यूजर स्टोरी है साइन इन, और इसका एक्सेप्टेंस क्राइटेरिया जो है वो है हमको ईमेल आईडी एंड पासवर्ड से लॉगिन करना है, एंड अनदर एक्सेप्टेंस क्राइटेरिया है कि हमको मोबाइल नंबर एंड पासवर्ड से करना है. In between the sprint, the team is already working. This work is, there can be two cases. Case number one, what is the scope change on the user story level? Please listen. This is the scope of the user story. What can be the scope change? For example, later on, PO is coming here. This change, this is okay. But ना अभी बिजनेस को एक और चीज चाहिए. क्या चाहिए? ईमेल आईडी एंड ओटीपी कॉम्बिनेशन भी चाहिए, एंड मोबाइल नंबर एंड ओटीपी कॉम्बिनेशन भी चाहिए. भाई चाहिए तो चाहिए. अब यहाँ पे दो कंडीशन बन सकता है. क्वेश्चन नंबर वन, if that story is already planned in a sprint, that story is already planned in the sprint, and then PO changing a scope of the story, मतलब ये दो और ऐड कर रहा, how will you handle? Answer? Yes, sir.
We can ask PO, like, if first we need to check how much work has been done by the developers. If we have completed this email and password, mobile and password one, we can ask PO to create a separate story for this acceptance criteria, and that we can take in the
Yes, very good answer. Guys, whenever this kind of situation come, no, first ask, can't we take these two additional work, email ID and OTP, in next sprint? Correct, no? भाई मैं बार बार बोलता हूँ, भाई हम क्या बना रहे हैं? आईटी सॉफ्टवेयर बना रहे हैं. हम मंगल ग्रह पे कुछ नहीं बना रहे भाई. What we are building? IT software. We're not sending someone on, like Mars, Mangal. Correct, no? What I'm trying to say is, first, guys, what Sumir has told very beautifully, that whenever the new requirement is coming, first ask irrespective to create a new story. एक ही स्टोरी में नहीं, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल देयर इज ऑलरेडी वन स्टोरी साइन इन, उसी में नहीं डालना है. देयर कैन बी अनदर स्टोरी, नो, साइन इन टू, and there these two checklist will be there, correct, no? Otherwise, in between the sprint, see, planned in a sprint, then PO changing the scope of the story. In between the sprint, if you add in the same story, what will happen? Developer will get confused, testers will get confused, all the noise will happen. First ask irrespective, create a new story. Now वो new story लेके आया. अब new story के लिए हम क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते. New story will have what? New story will have what checklist? These two. Meenakshi, you are here. New story will have these two checklist. Now, these two acceptance criteria. Now we can ask, no, hey, can we take this new story in a new sprint? अगर वो बोलेगा, okay, problem resolve. Correct? Guys, please, Preeti. If no, then don't you think this is a similar case of the scope creep? New story है, इसका भी कुछ story point होगा. For example, 5. Don't you think this is a similar case of coming up with one new story of 5 story point each or 2 story of 10 story point each? This becomes a similar case. कभी भी don't promote what Sumeer said. एक में ही नहीं घुसते जाना है, घुसते जाना है, घुसते जाना है. जीरा में टास्क और स्टोरी क्रिएट करने का पैसा नहीं लगता. समझ आ रहा? So the moment you ask irrespective, create a new story, and then you estimate the high level, and then you handle the same like how you handle a scope creep in between the sprint. Yes or no? Can you do this? Rakesh? Clear? Now. दूसरा क्वेश्चन लेके आते हैं. Hey, same if the story is already planned in a sprint, and then PO story is outside the sprint. The story is outside the sprint, not in a outside the sprint or in the backlog. Then how will you handle? कोई problem नहीं, टीम ने काम ही करना है, स्टार्ट नहीं किया है ना. Then we can add in the same story and regroom. Yes or no? तीसरा क्वेश्चन. PO changing, PO de-scoping the scope of the story. PO changing the scope नहीं, PO de-scoping. De-scoping means, for example, there are two mobile number and password, email number. Now PO is like, no, email नहीं चाहिए, बस mobile चाहिए. Can happen? Then what will you do? How will you handle?
Earlier you gave the answer.
I gave the answer that
Yes, that
we need to
already might be possible. We already coded. Again, we need to
correct,
see what
Inspection and adaptation.
correct. We need to check the status. First, you need to inspect like what it is. If code reversal is needed, we revert the code, and according code reversal is needed for one of the part, we will do this. If not, then we'll go like this. Clear? I have already given the guys all this. They will bug your mind like hell. I'm going in all the scenarios. Yes or no?
Yes, actually, the basic role of R is we never say no to. We said okay, great. And what is the right path? First is the developer or something like that. We need to follow that.
Basic role of ours is we are not a decision maker. We need to
Yes, we are not the decision
keep
maker.
asking the question,
Yes,
keep
correct.
inspecting, and then we'll come up with a solution. And that solution look like that the team has come up with a solution.
Yes.
हम यहाँ पे boss नहीं बने. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So all this question, and now epic level scope creep. Epic level. What is epic level? For example, any epic comes, we'll have multiple stories in the epic. Correct? For example, one epic is of 200 story point. उसमें 40 story है, 40 story, and this is for 200 story point. Whenever any epic comes, no guys, those stories are not even groomed. So high level we estimate. High level का मतलब जैसे कभी building है, high level कितना पैसा लगेगा? हमने करना काम नहीं स्टार्ट किया है, बोलते हैं ना हाई लेवल कितना पैसा लगेगा, बोल देते हैं 50 लाख. चलता है ना, उसको हाई लेवल बोलते हैं. नाउ 40 story high level estimation, The moment the business will come up with the epic and your team will pick no, the first question they will ask, when will you deliver? अब वहां पे आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि भाई ये हाई लेवल है, आपको एक टेंटेटिव टाइमलाइन देना पड़ेगा. And how will you give tentative timeline? Based on average velocity. Correct, no? Making sense? For example, your average velocity is 45 story point or 40 story point. Then how much time will take? Minimum 5 sprint. हो सकता है कि आपके पास ऑलरेडी 2 स्प्रिंट का काम है. You already have to. There can be a situation that you have already 2 sprint to work in advance. Correct, no? Then it will take 7 sprints from here. Correct, no? So you will calculate by when those sprint will get ended, and accordingly you will get a time. For example, you told, hey, August 15 will be able to deliver. अब वो बोलेगा कि भाई अगस्त 15 तो इंडिपेंडेंस डे है, नहीं बोलेगा, उनको काम से मतलब है. करेक्ट ना? नो, अगस्त 15 को डिलीवर करेंगे. नाउ suddenly what happened when they started grooming and getting the requirement? Now high level you have given so far. Now when your PO and BA started going to the business getting the requirement, for example, a scope got changed from 200 to 300 story point. तब क्या बोलोगे उसको? I told you in the last class also. August 15 will not meet. Then and there उसको सोना नहीं है उस पे. You will knock the door of business. अब बोलोगे बिजनेस तो न्यू जर्सी में है, वहां पे कैसे नॉक द डोर करेंगे? भैया कॉल शेड्यूल करेंगे. नॉक का डोर ये नहीं है, ऐसे नहीं. कॉल शेड्यूल करेंगे, मेल करेंगे. हम क्या बोलेंगे, कब करेंगे? जब हमको पता चलेगा. देन एंड देयर, यू डोंट हैव टू वेट. We'll knock the door of the business and ask, hey, August 15 was for this 100 story point. We'll take 40 is average velocity. We'll take 3 more sprint. Correct, no? Now they will come up with 2 response. First response, hey, okay, what do you do now? Phase 1 will deliver 200 story point August में, and phase 2 you are telling 3 sprint you will deliver in October. बढ़िया, क्या दिक्कत है? 200 स्टोरी पॉइंट फेज 1, फेज 2 लेटर. बट कोई बिजनेस क्या होगा? सड़ू वाला बिजनेस. सड़ू वाला बिजनेस समझते हो? रॉटन. वो क्या बोलेगा? वी वांट एवरीथिंग बाय August 15. वी कांट वेट. हम क्या करेंगे? हमारे पास तो एवरेज कैपेसिटी है नहीं. वी विल let everyone know that we are in this situation. Correct, no? We'll schedule one call with leadership team, resource manager, and tell that, hey, this is the situation you are in. Ask your help. Either they can give you additional resource to deliver, or they can give this work to some other team, or they themselves can go to the business and negotiate with the business. Yes or no? But what I'm trying to say, never sleep on the issue. Never sleep on the issue. Always sleep on bed or a pillow. Never. Always sleep on bed or a pillow. अब कोई बोलेगा हम जमीन में सोते, भैया सो लो. Whenever you get the issue, then and there you have to shout. So different situation you can come up with. At least 10 scenarios you have discussed. Yes or no? You need to smartly, but every single situation, transparency, inspection, adaptation. Making sense? You see the situation? You have to first give the tentative date. And there will be one more situation come here, guys. If this 300 story point gone, no, then there might be they have only tentative funding for 200 story point. Extra 100 story point funding also you need to confirm. इसीलिए मैं बोलता हूँ मेरे ये वीडियो को ना मंडे टू फ्राइडे एक बार पक्का देखो, दोबारा देखोगे दोबारा चीजें सीखने को. नो वन विल टीच यू दैट इन डीप. ट्रस्ट माय वर्ड, trust my word. You have not been to other places. If you have been to other places, you must have realized that hey, it is good. If you don't have been, go and test the other places. You will see like hey, they are not teaching anything. They just surpass. Correct, no, Anushri?
Yes, Rizwan, correct.
So all these situations, whatever you have gone, you go and discuss. Any question will come, we will discuss in the next class. Now what you guys have to do, this scope creep I have ended. Clear? All three scope creep you guys understood? Here. A sprint level scope creep you understood? Addition of a story point, how to handle. If de-addition, de-scope, like if a removal of a story point, how to handle. User story, if in between the scopes are getting changed, how to handle. If in between a scope can added also and remove also, how to handle. And outside the sprint there is no problem. A peak level, how to manage the deliveries. We would never have to sleep on the issues. We have to sleep on a bed or a pillow. Correct? Correct. And we also discuss remaining question, and there are two more questions pending. I'll take in 2 minutes and then we'll close the session. Another two questions were there here. Guys, and trust my word, they will only play around these capacity and velocity, and that's why I keep telling here these are very important topic. Next. Here. A scope creep we discuss. How do you ensure as a Scrum Master your resources 100% utilized? Answer is, we have every individual member capacity there. And whenever you create the subtask, utilize the capacity, make sure 85% or 90% capacity utilized. Simple answer, one-liner. If there's a Diwali vacation, Holi vacation, should you take work by average velocity or capacity? We take the work by unit mathematics. Both will come to the picture. Now I have covered every single question related to capacity and velocity. What is capacity? What is velocity? Any correlation between capacity and velocity? How do you do the sprint planning? If complete new team given, how will you handle? How many scrum teams are handling? What is focus factor? Unplanned leave kaise karna hai? All this ninth question, number 9, difference between capacity and velocity. Every single question has been discussed in detail. Now what you guys have to do? This week exercise, very high concentration. ये ना बहुत हुआ. This week we have literally learned a lot. Correct, no? Now what you guys have to do? I'll not give any extra assignment this week. First, from start to end, whatever, because after 2 to 3 classes we'll be covering every Scrum will be get completed. Apart from this week, what you guys have to do? First, you have to revise every single thing, whatever has covered so far. Can happen? आप कैसे करोगे? For example, few people are like, hey, you find which video you have to again revisit, you go with the video. For example, you are like, no, I know everything, I have to only practice the question. You practice your question and you have already notebook ready, then notebook is enough. Correct? But that you have to find your own way so that you can come on track. Second, this capacity and velocity, please watch this recording again and practice this recording again and practice framing answers. Think different scenarios. If any scenarios you think and you're not able to answer, ask me in the next class. We'll discuss those questions. Clear? Third, have at least 2 calls scheduled with your Scrum buddy. Just for example, Anshika and Sumir is a Scrum buddy. Correct, Sumir? Sumir is there?
Yes, sir.
Now, one call, Sumir, you will take the mock interviews of Anshika. So far, whatever the topic discussion, anywhere. Another call, Anshika will take the mock interviews of Sumir. For example, Anushri Scrum buddy. Anushri, who is your Scrum buddy? You guys paired up or no?
Yeah,
Prasanna
me,
is okay.
Rakesh and Madhu.
Okay. Prasanna, you found your Scrum buddy or no?
Not yet.
Find no someone who wants to pair with Prasanna here.
I can connect with
Name.
Bharti.
Prasanna, can you connect with Bharti, guys? By the way, Prasanna is a very good, talented girl. Please pair with her. She will do wonders. I know her personally. Okay. Now, you have to have one mock interviews. And how will I get to know? Everyone has to. Here is one. The call is scheduled. I have taken one mock interview of my Scrum buddy, and she has taken one mock interviews of mine. Clear? Not on only capacity and velocity, whatever has been covered. These things should be done. Enough? Justified ask? Can you please take the photo and share in the group? First. And Prasanna, this week come on track. Now it is, you live in Hyderabad, I'll come to your home, very near. Okay?
Sure, Rizwan.
Enough. First call, you looked very talented to me. You are still talented, but the thing is, you're not giving the effort.
It's holidays.
अरे holidays में 2-3 घंटे तो लगते हैं ना.
Yeah.
नहीं रिजवान, किड्स के साथ बहुत मुश्किल है. कितना भी काम कर सकते हैं, मगर किड्स को संभालना बहुत मुश्किल है.
ये तो है. Parents know the pain of parents. Single people, how come they will get to know? Clear, correct? Done? Done?
Rizwan, one thing. You were telling unit mathematics. So in that way, वो तो हम like वही कर रहे हैं ना कि we will deduct the holidays in the initial phase of capacity planning. That is unit mathematics. You are saying that if
Unit mathematics is this. There is a Diwali vacation. This was the average velocity. This was the average capacity. Now, because of Diwali, your capacity has come down. So you will use the 5 apple price is 40, 1 apple price is 8. So you will go by this. This is a unit mathematics. Clear? Okay, Sumir.
Rizwan, just one thing, two things I wanted to like you mentioned there is a change in the acceptance criteria in between. They are de-scoping it. So ideally, what should they do? Like in the same story point, they should delete same
No. Always, whenever, see, if they are coming up with addition of a scope in the same story, always let them create a new story. So that will be a separate thing altogether. You will not change anything with the existing story, correct?
Yes, that is clear. I'm talking about
If they are de-scope, for example, something, so obviously a story point will also get revised because there will be less work, but there can be one more task created to revert the code and do all this. You got it, Sumir? If the code is in that phase, if the code is in the initial phase, then completely fine.
And like as you mentioned, like maybe 1 or 2 time team can work stretch extra to finish the extra task. So at that time, for that particular sprint, our velocity will be higher. Like instead of 40, our velocity will be.
So that is once in a blue moon case. In that case, you will not be counting average velocity. Clear, no? Yeah, Aisha.
Yeah,
Aisha, no one has seen you so far on a video. Can you come on video first?
I usually do not go on video calls because of my personal privacy reasons.
Okay, no worries. Please continue. Okay.
Yeah, I have a question regarding the first question you covered, that if the PO comes up with some extra similar kind of requirements, what if they ask us to replace the previous requirement with the new one?
No. Previous requirement, even if they're replacing with the new one, you have to first inspect the previous requirement, how much work team has done. Correct, no?
Right.
It's not, so if they have already done something, if reversal of code needed, then again the effort will be there, correct?
Yes, right.
So our previous requirement you are replacing with the new one, that means previous requirement you don't need anymore. So
no, they are maybe they are asking us to deprioritize that and prioritize the new one.
So that you will move out of the sprint.
Okay.
And new one you will be taking in the sprint, but you will also be taking counter like code is where, do you have to revert the code, all
Okay.
those factor, and accordingly you'll be doing your mathematics, adjusting how much
Mhm.
you can take it, and accordingly you'll be doing this.
So for that, I will be the person who will have to connect with the developers and
Yes,
testers
yes, you
for
are a
that.
facilitator. You are a
Okay.
facilitator. Guys, nowadays people say, "Na, hey, Scrum Master ka job is at risk." I don't know which idiots say, but few people say. Now, you know whose job is risk? They only know the Scrum. But the Scrum Master who knows the release management, which I'll be covering in the next class, delivery management, all this situation handling, safe, Kanban, कैसे कौन भैया, every project is coming in agile. If you know you are all rounder, then no one can replace you. So only having a knowledge, जो PSM वाले होते हैं ना 2 दिन वाले, वो replaceable है. जो overall knowledge है, वो that person will never get replaceable, and that's what you are learning. You go to the real world, you'll be proud of yourself that you got a training from me. अभी नहीं पता चल रहा. Aisha,
Yeah,
okay?
right.
Yes. Okay. You got the task, guys. 2 calls will happen. Mock interviews. Second, what is the second task?
Rizwan, can you?
Revision of every single thing. What is the third task?
At least 2
Again,
calls
mock
set up
interview.
mock
Mock
interviews with
interview
somebody.
recordings.
Correct. And next week, next Saturday, I might take 1 person mock interviews. Any people. I'll see the faces. Whatever the faces look very confused, I will take those. I read faces. That person, I'll take the mock interviews. And you are like, hey, Saturday I will not come. Rizwan will take the mock interviews. I'll take the class on Saturday. Sunday I'll take the mock interviews. ठीक है? तो मेरे से तेज नहीं बनना. ठीक है?
You will find many volunteers for interview as well.
Rahul, you are now in my notice. Chalo. Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Sumir,
Bye-bye.
you have
Happy
something to
weekend.
discuss, you call me, okay? Okay, bye.